We are live on Pop Culture Breakdown. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and we have a new improvement on the show, thanks to our good buddy Fet for Hire. We will be seeing that a little bit later. We've got some actual good news, some good portents. We've captured a squirrel and we've looked at its entrails, and lo and behold, there is some progress at Lucasfilm. It coincides with the departure of a certain august personage to retirement, and God bless her. I hope she's happy in retirement. I honestly do. But gosh, this is actually a positive story out of Star Wars, folks, and I'm very delighted to be able to make it. Not so sure about the positivity behind Avengers Endgame. We got a Avengers Endgame trailer number 4 or 5 now, and it's like wow, Ben Grimm and Wakanda. Okay, we're gonna review that here in just a little bit. We've also got some major developments in the whole Paramount, Netflix, Warner Brothers struggle, which I find absolutely fascinating and maddening, because I don't like either choice. I'm just trying to figure out which one is the worst, or which one is the best. I don't know. I guess we'll discuss that. And we've got some other odds and ends. Turns out Stranger Things, well, if you thought that the finale or the last season of Stranger Things was kind of sucky, we now have a little bit of a reason why. We're going to go ahead and discuss that. We're going to talk about this. So get ready for that. But for right now, folks, let's go ahead and let's go around and introduce everyone, shall we? We have Gary Ambrosia. Hail to you, Gary Ambrosia, at the center of the earth. It is absolutely awesome to see you. Hail to you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm all right. I see. I go to the bathroom and I come back, and Doomcock has upgraded my cell with heightened security. So thanks a bunch.
You're very welcome. You like it? You like those touches?
Oh, love them. Especially the little mini cam in the bathroom. That's a great one. Thanks.
Well, now, see, I didn't put that up there. I have no interest in that shit whatsoever. So it may be some of your female fans. It may be some of your female bots here.
Right.
I don't know. But I guarantee you, it wasn't me.
It's not me, huh? Well, I figured that you figured out that that's how I was getting out, through the old hatch in the restroom.
Yeah,
and,
but
when the door's closed, because there's the camera right outside the door, but you just thought I was in the John for a week.
Yeah, but I'd put laser trip wires on the exit. I'd put heat sensors. What I'm not gonna do is make a recording of that kind of thing. Not really my cup of tea. Although some, if I was German, maybe. All right, and now, that said, hey, if you've seen Necromantic, you know what I'm talking about. One of the most disturbing films ever. But enough of that. We've also got Rob writes Gen X Pop Culture. Hail to you, Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. We actually have some positive news to talk about for a change. So, but then we've got some really crappy news to talk about too. So it never changes.
Yes.
Occasionally we
bring
get
them up too high, Robert. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. And we've got Osaka Chandal as well, but we're having some technical difficulties with her feed, so we will come back to her. And let's see, we've also got Heather L. Hello, Heather L. How are you, Heather? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dimcock. I'm doing good and happy. There are actually a few positive signs in 2026, so keep it going.
Yeah, well,
Excited.
not for our various football teams. A lot of our football teams have,
Don't bring that up. You just brought me down.
I'm
Happy, and you just it brought me right back down.
Lord.
I'm really, I'm really down. Why is it the bad guys always seem to win? I don't know. Well, not the Kansas City Chiefs though. No,
but
they had a losing season. Oh, it's so sad. Hey, so did Dallas, which is kind of a funny thing. All right. Well, hail to you, Heather L. Sorry, we'll try to pick you back up where you belong before the show ends. We'll try. There's always next year, isn't there? And we've got Doug Nelson. Hail to you, Mr. Nelson. Good to see you, Doug. How are you? What's up with you?
Oh, I'm exhausted again. Yeah. But hey, I hear this positive news. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Notice I didn't clap mine. Yeah. Anyway, stick around. More of this on your way.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that song, Walking on Sunshine. Here is the inspiration right here, Doug Nelson. He's still getting royalties for that. I'm walking on sunshine, and don't it feel good? Hail to you, Doug Nelson. Hey, listen, I always feel the way that you look, Doug. I always feel that deep inside, and that's why you and I are brothers. It's true. It's true. But your hair looks great, by the way. Nice hairstyling, nice haircut there.
Pretty good.
You look kind of like Superman.
He's got good hair.
Yeah, he does. And he's sharp dressed.
Very sharp dressed.
Yeah.
ZZ Top also pays his fucking ass royalties. It's just amazing. And we have Sean Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Carter, hail to you, Sean. The incredible. This is to quote Steely Dan in reverse. This is the night of the retracting man, not the expanding man. He has lost. How much have you lost?
95 pounds so far,
dude.
I've got another 25 or 30 to go, but I'll get there.
Good for
you.
Wow.
That is absolutely amazing. Anything you would like to say to the audience before we begin?
Hello to everyone. And Gary, about that bathroom thing, you told us you were combing your hair. You got the water running all day.
Well,
weird science plug.
Sean, I never tossed off to anything in the bathroom for longer than a week.
Oh, Gary. I love that clip.
People used to say that to me when my friends introduced me to new people. They'd be like, "Oh, this is Gary," and they'd be like, "Gary? Who's Gary?" I never got it until I realized it was from Weird Science. Yeah.
Weird Science, outstanding movie. I love that movie. And we have now Osaka Chandal is here. Hail to you, Osaka Chandal. It's great to see you. Welcome back to Pop Culture Breakdown.
Hello, and happy belated New Year's to everybody. I'm very happy to be here, and I love seeing everyone in the panel. You all look amazing.
It is great to see you back, Osaka Chandal, as well. So welcome. And let's go ahead and get to the breakdown. Got some good news, folks. All right. Issue number 1. Let's start out with a positive note. Let's start out on a positive note. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. This is interesting and kind of unexpected. This was on the Twitter X box here. Got discussing films saying Disney is changing part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland Park to the original trilogy. Wow. So there's actually going to be some Star Wars and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
What? Really? This is amazing. Tell me more. You could have like saved tons and tons of scornful YouTube videos and disappointed little faces and shit. Actually made some money if you'd have just done this in the first fucking place. New props and graphics will be applied to Black Spire Outpost. So in other words, some real Star Wars is going into Black Spire Outpost. Darth Vader, Leia, Luke, and Han will be able to meet guests. In other words, you will not be kicked out if you are a fan of the original trilogy. John Williams' score will now play in the park. Wow. Well, who'd have thunk we'd ever see the day when real Star Wars would return to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? But this is beyond a shadow of a doubt, folks. This is positive news. This is how it should have been in the first place. It should have been. What is this fucking, Kylo Ren, Rey bullshit? This is what it should have been all along. And all of a sudden you'll see life return. I mean, maybe if there's enough, actual Star Wars fans left out there after all the abuse and everything. But this is absolutely a step in the positive direction, folks. Step in the positive direction. I mean, there's no way to shit on this. This is good. This may be further indications that, Filoni and, I'm sorry, I forget what her name is, taking, the rumor is that they're taking over the co-presidency of Lucasfilm once Kathleen Kennedy retires. This may be a sign of that transition, folks. So let's just go around. I mean, you can say, well, maybe too little, too late, but listen, we got to give kudos when they do something good, slam them when they do something bad. And I don't see any bad side to this at all. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm hoping it'll be good. Gary, any thoughts on this? I know you're, I mean, they've just kind of stepped on your inner Star Wars child and kind of squished it like a bug, but still, intellectually, you can see that this is a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's one thing that AI can't provide, and that's a real life experience. And that's what is cool about a Disney theme park, is it has the ability to do that. They've chosen, to go with their own bullshit, as far as the real life Star Wars experience that they wanted to provide. But maybe, maybe this will get asses back in the park. Let's see what happens. The John Williams music is that's key right there.
Yeah.
You can have guys in, white stormtrooper suits everywhere. You go to the cons and see that shit. But I mean, to go in the environment and to hear John Williams music, that's good. That's smart. Good.
Yeah, that is the soul of Star Wars. If you tried to play
Yes.
Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back without the music, it would.
I mean, look at the Disney Star Wars stuff that didn't have John Williams even emulated in the shows. It's lifeless. It's soulless. It really is. So I think it's good. I'm good with it.
Yeah, no, I think the score to Star Wars is one of the greatest film scores of all time. It's astonishing, like track after track, classic after classic.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I mean, it's a complete ripoff, but that's okay. It's still great.
Well, there's a bit whole essay.
It is.
About
Come
that,
on. Talk about that in another video.
It's possible. Gary G in the chat is saying it's too late. They fucked up.
Well, of course it's too late.
Everyone away.
Let them at least try.
Well, they should. Yeah. Rob, you sent this to my attention. I'd seen it beforehand, but it impressed you significantly. What did you think?
I think it's great. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, especially for Star Wars 50th, and the fact that they're gonna do this starting April of this year. And give it at least a full year's run, which is awesome. But, apparently the cantina area where you can go get a drink, they're actually going to play the cantina band music from John Williams.
Cool.
They're going to play the John Williams score as you come into the park based upon some other things that I've heard and read, which is amazing. And we're going to get the classic characters we love: Darth Vader, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, and Han Solo. I mean, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Now, if only Han could maybe go to the ship and say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing with my ship? Get the heck out of here." That probably won't happen, but that would be awesome. I mean, the sad thing about it is that if they would have allowed the Imagineers and the people that were going to design the Star Wars land to do it for the original trilogy the way that I've heard that they wanted to do it, Disney would have had a hit with the parks a long time ago.
Yep.
And it's sad that they have to go and regress all the way back to draw the attention to them as a marketing scheme for their upcoming movies and for re-releasing Star Wars. But I'll take a win when I can get it, and it gives me a little bit of hope that maybe there's somebody over there that remembers what Star Wars was really like, and maybe is making some effort to move it back in the right direction. I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is. In the chat, Andrew Delaw was saying the art of film scoring is nearly dead. When's the last time you remember the score from a film? I gotta say, the most recent film score that I actually remember was probably Inception. Hans Zimmer's Inception. I thought that was a brilliant, beautiful, and sensitive score. But it's mostly, awesome. You're right. I mean, Garrett, can you think of a recent score that was fantastic?
We're talking decades since I can remember one.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
I mean, really, it's that bad. It is a lost art.
It really is. It's a sad thing, but I swear to God, I love Inception. I listen to it all the time. It's
I want a full album from the Cantina Band. I want more songs.
Yeah.
There's two tracks in the movie, but if they're going to play that stuff in the park, I want a whole body of music from these clowns.
That would be good.
Cool. That would be cool. Good. Like with AI, you can go back and like make music that sounds like those weird, funky instruments they were using. The steel drum and the synthesizer and all that stuff. Yeah, that would be cool.
The Cantina Band plays Harry James, plays
sure.
Moonlight Sonata, those kind of things. That'd be kind of good. Pardon me, boys, at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. That'd be kind of good,
It could cover some classic tracks, man.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Heather L, this seems like a positive thing, or is it just too late? I don't know.
No, this is great, man. If Han Solo's going to be there, I might go myself.
Dude,
planning a trip. Come on.
Heather's going to go get a date.
I'll be stalking the Han Solo actor. Walking around the park.
You see all the pictures of you with like your hand on his chest as you got your arm around him and everything. My new boyfriend.
I love this nice belt.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You'd be like me and Judy.
I could just hear him saying to Heather L, "No, this goes here, that goes there." You understand?
That's a nice blaster you have there, Han.
God, you guys found me out. Am I that transparent? Crap.
Is that a Minoc in your pocket, or are you just happy to see my power cable?
17, huh? Okay, you got yourself a deal.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do it. I had to go make this happen. But
all right.
I think it's good news, right? They're getting rid of Kylo Ren completely, is what I heard. And they may have Rey, I guess, still hanging around some parts, but this is great. Coincide with the re-release of the original trilogy in the theater. And I know a lot of fans have, they're done, but a lot of people still go to the park. They take their little kids there, and they don't really pay that much attention to pop culture, whatever. So at least those kids now going to the park are going to be exposed to the real Star Wars, the real characters, the real music. Hopefully their parents take them to see the original in the theaters, and then you have a chance to have this kid, this generation, new generation, exposed to real Star Wars and not the Disney crap so much. So
right. Remember, the kids don't bring themselves, it's the parents.
Yeah, well, people still go, right? People start going to the parks. So
yeah, and the parents are the ones that want to see the old school stuff. So
and the
Yeah.
kids now get to see something good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I hear that Ray will still be there. She'll be at the Orange Julia stand.
Yeah.
She's the new hot dog on a stick girl.
Hot dog on a
Yeah.
stick.
Searching for Kylo Ren. It's that movie, The Search for Kylo.
Yeah, right.
Kylo Ren is over here at the Orange Julia stand with me. Hey, do you want cream corn with that? I don't know. I don't know if they sell cream corn with Orange Julius. I haven't been, but hey, it's possible.
Question: if Kylo Ren gets the order wrong, does he destroy the kitchen?
Yeah, that's right. He goes, there weren't any nuts on that. No nuts. And he slams his helmet, and breaks it, and then they give him another one. Next fuck up. Doug, what do you think of this story? I'm sure it fills you with childlike joy and elan.
Elon?
No, elan.
Yes. It's good news for theme parks. I do not go to theme parks. So is it great news for me? Not really. Is it a sign? I guess. I mean, you got 2 movies coming. We'll see what that's about, but I am not optimistic whatsoever.
Right.
And even if I'll probably I'm going to see The Mandalorian when I don't know about Starfighter. We'll see what people say, and then all right, I'll go check it out. But even if they're both, fun, good movies, I mean, of all the franchises that were, devastated over the past, 10 years now, none of them have suffered as bad as Star Wars in a lot of ways. And you robbed us of this Beatles reunion moment that could have happened. The most obvious thing in the world to do. And there's nothing you can do. No amount of AI can fix that. Now, recasting, all that. Carrie Fisher's dead.
Yep.
You had this moment in time and you went out of your way to destroy it. So let's say you get it back. Oh, boy, we finally figured out we messed up. And you start doing, basic adventure movies with Star Wars. And even if you redo the sequel trilogy and do it right and whatnot and all that, how long does it take to get that together and everything? I'm in my mid-50s. You had a moment there. I'm done. You're not Star Wars just isn't what it once was. It had a moment. It was a moment in time. And it's gone. Maybe there's a couple of good movies here and there. Sure. I mean, it's like even that Skeleton Crew show. I liked it. I thought that was a cute show.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's about as good as it's going to get. After Kenobi, I was like, all right, abandon all hope. That and I don't see anything. Well, Filoni's coming. Yeah, I've seen Filoni's work. I fell asleep during Ahsoka. I mean, it's just like he doesn't have it. And then the other boss, well, I could go into her story. It's not good now. But maybe she's learned her lesson, just make sure you're not wasting money on anything. So no, there's nothing here that gives me, there's a lot of against it, a lot of physical realities and time and whatnot that's against it for me. Maybe for others, Star Wars can make a comeback and that sort of thing. But for the theme park, it's the obvious no-brainer. Yeah, maybe you should have the star of Star Wars. Gee, I don't know. Who's that? Darth Vader. And gee, what music should we play? Oh, I don't know. Now you want me to yay! Oh, look at you! You brushed your teeth all by yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's more than they can say for Grogu. Grogu's 50 years old. He can't even say suck or hi or butterfly or he can't say shit.
No.
So you are unmoved, Doug.
No, not really. Yeah. For the theme park, yes, obviously You know, I can't even really cheer it on, but yes, it's a good thing. They'll probably do some good for the park, and people, you know, they'll like that. They'll have fun at a theme park. Great goal.
Well, you know,
it's a movie franchise, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. But,
yeah.
Well,
It's like, yeah, you're exactly right. It's like people are saying, hey, they're making Star Wars Next Generation Legos. Yeah, but it's a TV show. It's a TV show. And, you know,
that's
sure
nice. Look at that.
That's just fucking delightful.
Yeah.
So to sum up musically, using Gershwin as a model, they're bringing Star Wars back, but not for Doug. Is that your opinion?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Osaka Chandal, are you thrilled about this news?
I think it's about time Disney finally did something good for their parks. It's been how long, and they've been disappointing all the park goers for so long. I mean, they really don't have anything going for them, and we all know Universal's kicking their butt, because Universal, at least they pay respect to what made them famous with their Hollywood monsters. But here Disney just like kept spitting on anything that made them what they are today. Like they destroy all their famous IPs, Willow, Snow White, everything. They just destroy it. And Universal's, respecting all their characters, and their parks are doing extremely well because of it. So it's about time Disney woke up like, hey, maybe we should actually show some love to what made us great and to what makes, our park goers happy and what made Star Wars fans happy. Stop ripping everything apart and dissecting it, and I just think it might be a little too late, but we'll just have to wait and see how well their parks do.
No, you're right. I mean, Universal has done it right. You talk about paying tribute to the original Universal monsters. I mean, if Disney had done it, then it would have been, Dragula. It would have been, Frank and They. It would have been the creature from the Pink Lagoon.
The Monster High.
Yeah. So, they're doing it right. They're doing it with respect. I like that. Sean, anything to add to this story?
Yeah, I think I finally understand why some husbands continue to get in trouble. So this is like the husband screws up for years, and then he does something really good one day, and all it does is just piss off the wife even more. You know what I mean? Because it just reminds her of all the things he did wrong. I think that's what this is. That's how I'm feeling. I feel like Doug is like, okay, great, you're doing it. It only took you $1 billion investment in each park to realize this. And now you got to rip it out and start over. Like the guys that really wanted to do it, like Rob was mentioning, they had plans and everything, and it was awesome. That ship has sailed. They've lost a whole generation. And, I'm in my 50s. I'm not going to spend, what is Disneyland right now? $225 to get in?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the time they redo this, it'll be up to $3.
Well, yeah, they got to pay for all the new Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah. I just,
we're bringing back old Star Wars. Okay, yeah, that's great because we're going to raise the price $50.
Yeah. It's good to see that they're trying. I'm actually more excited to see the re-release of the original movies in the theater. That's the one thing I'm actually looking forward to seeing.
Right.
But yeah. So
no, that's also another positive step in alignment with this, that they are basically conceding at this point that it was the original trilogy that all along, and the prodigal sons, they have returned to the fold, and we would kill the fatted calf for them, but we had to sell it for the finance the acolyte. So unfortunately, there is no fatted calf for the welcome feast, sadly. But I guess you can munch on Darth Zipperhead's leather.
I wonder if they're gonna throw the overweight Thrawn from the from Ahsoka in it.
Yeah, well, you know, he's not overweight. He's stuffed with success.
Yeah.
He's so full of success. Yeah. All right. Well, talking about success. Let's well, no, we'll go to that later. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Should we talk about this Paramount Warner Brothers Netflix situation? As I understand it, Rob, and you know, you're maybe more up on this even than I am. I'm not sure at this point, but I did a video about this. Paramount has sued. Essentially, Paramount has made what they feel is to be a superior offer to Netflix's offer. Paramount's offer is, you know, 100+ billion in all cash for the entire company, including the cable concerns. And you know, Netflix's deal is somewhere in the 82-83 billion dollar range of cash and stock, and it excludes their cable concerns. And so the directors of the Warner Brothers board have basically rejected the deal, and they are asking investors to also reject the deal because you know, they don't want it to go. Paramount has published an open letter to Warner Brothers stockholders trying to explain why their deal is superior. They have sued Warner Brothers to get disclosure on all the aspects of the proposed Netflix deal in order to more fully assess the pros and cons of the thing. And this is like a big monkey wrench. They're also trying, Paramount is, from what I understand, Skydance, essentially, trying to also force some new board members onto the board to that are more friendly to their bid. I mean, they're doing everything. And they're also trying to change the bylaws so that any separation of cable rights like CNN and those kind of things, is what they're talking about, would have to be voted on and approved by shareholders. So they're throwing everything but the kitchen fucking sink in there, Rob, because no matter what, you know, this is a big fucking story, folks, because no matter whether Paramount wins this or Netflix wins this is going to reshape the power structure somewhere. They're going to pay, you know, if Paramount gets it, it really upends the power structure in Hollywood to some extent. I mean, they got Paramount, Skydance got Paramount. Now they're going to get Warner Brothers. You know, if Netflix gets it, holy shit, streaming, you know, I mean, they've won the streaming wars, and they already have, I mean, really, but I mean, it gives them, you know, ironclad grip on streaming. And it also damages, you know, theatrical exhibition, probably because, you know, their business is streaming. They're not interested in people going to theaters. They want people asses on couches. So what have I left out, Rob? Is there what is your opinion about this story? Because it's a big fucking deal. When it's this major a power shift, no matter what happens, it's a big deal.
Yes. So first off, anything I say, I'm not giving any kind of advice. I'll just explain stuff to you. My understanding of it was when they were when Warner Brothers was willing to sell, they got bids, and at the time Paramount was the highest, and they rejected it. And they did it a second time, and Paramount's was the highest, and they rejected it. And then the third time, they said, "Oh well, Netflix is a little bit higher than yours. We're going to take Netflix." And that's part of what Paramount was hacked off to begin with. And they want proof now. That's part of the reason why they're suing. But also, Paramount is trying to gather up shares so they can do some things to the board and have a little bit more control. So there's a tender offer out there from a subsidiary of Paramount to buy shares from the shareholders in a tender offer that I think goes till next week. And so basically, if they gather up more shares of Warner Brothers and are one of the majority shareholders, they can have some say in what goes on the board and what goes on with any kind of sale to Netflix. The whole thing's kind of a mess, and it screams of all kinds of, hey, we want this rather than that kind of deal. And all sorts of other stuff that you just sit there and you're like, really? We've gotten to this point where we can't just have 3 good companies make good entertainment. We have to have somebody buying everything out. So I don't know. Apparently the government's going to get involved in this, but how big they get it, how much they get involved in it, and do they stop it? This could take years. This could last after, the current administration's out. And then what happens? I don't know. But what it is that you've got a board that's supposed to represent the best interests of the shareholders. And I don't know if the Netflix deal is better than the Paramount deal, but that's what Paramount is claiming, is that the board is not giving the shareholders the best deal in layman's terms. And so that's what you have kind of going on. And we'll see how it shakes out. It's interesting. It really is top of mind because, this really will impact Hollywood going forward, no matter what happens.
Hollywood is really screwed.
Yeah,
at this point. No matter what happens. Think about it. Paramount got snatched up. Skydance snatched up Paramount, trying to snatch up Warner Brothers. Disney snatched up Fox, along with a lot of other things. Warner Brothers snatched up Discovery itself, and now it is looking to get snatched up. The old Hollywood does not exist anymore. It's all these new media companies, new upstarts on the block that are, making money hand over fist and are, buying our great Hollywood studios, up and absorbing them into their new matrix. It's disturbing. And no matter what happens, I think it's going to cut down, Gary, I think it's going to cut down on our choices as viewers. I think less projects will be greenlit. It's going to be really bad, I would assume, for indie films. I don't know. It's a kind of a grim outlook, no matter what happens.
Well, the theater's always kind of been a gateway for content. Well, movies is what they used to be called. And the thing is that not everybody could get their movie in a theater. It had to be really good. And now it seems like all of these streaming channels have hundreds of shows, original shows, and like 90% of them suck, and like we're going to get so saturated with content that it's just going to be like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. There's no like gatekeeping.
Yeah. Like we used to only see the best movies or like 90% of them were really good movies on the big screen. Very rarely was there a movie that bombed back in the day. But now it's like, how often are they a huge success? I don't think very often. I really don't. Like, if you look at the numbers that they're reporting, which they're probably not as good as that, these movies are costing a lot of money. And if they were making a lot of money, they would be releasing them in the theaters, but they're not. They're all opting to go to streaming. Why? Because they're not making enough money. They're probably losing out to theaters. So if they keep everybody home and streaming, they get 49% more profit.
Yeah.
If theaters were successful, they would be trying to make them thrive again, right? That would be obvious, but they're not, even though they claim that these movies are huge hits. Well, if they're huge hits, then why aren't you making more movies in the theater?
Yeah, well, that's absolutely true. Yeah. And more theaters are going to the model that I've talked about. This month, I believe they're showing they're reviving Blade Runner. They're going to show the original Blade Runner in theaters. And Rob, what's the other movie they're going to show?
Temple of Doom's coming out.
Yeah, Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to find that, just doing a simple, rental of a, older movie is going to bring in good business. They're desperate. I think that they're going to start dipping into the great films of the past and start showing them. They're all going to turn into like art houses and revival houses, and fuck the mainstream stuff that's coming out. It's garbage. It just dies. But it's disturbing. I don't know what's going to happen to theater chains. Heather L, anything to add to this? Because this is I don't know which I prefer. I guess probably Paramount, but either way, it's not great.
Yeah, I think Paramount would be better. Netflix has gotten so powerful already, which is shocking. Going from, an online version of Blockbuster to being this huge, powerful company. But yeah, I'm not surprised at the fight because the back catalog is so valuable. Not just all the movies, but they have all the, the grade A TV shows like Sopranos and The Wire from, HBO Max. They have that catalog is so valuable that with so much focus on streaming now, Netflix and Paramount, it's not surprising that this has just turned into this knockdown, drag out fight. Not really surprised that they sued. Just to see the transparency of it, right? Like, Warner Brothers is saying, "Oh, it's your deal is worse because you're going to have to take on so much debt. It's going to be bad for the shareholders. It's not going to be really a healthy company with all the debt then that is going to be saddled with." And then also, it's not really apples to apples because Paramount, even though the price is higher, they're buying the whole company versus Netflix. They're carving out the cable stuff, right? So we need to see, or Paramount wants to see their numbers. Is the Netflix price plus what you valued this cable stuff at, is that really better? So, I mean, I kind of see why they want this, but dragging it out, like how bad is this going to be for Warner Brothers, right? Just as a studio, because there's not going to be any big commitments to projects while all this stuff is going on. This could drag out this
Yeah.
year and longer. Who's going to say, oh, let's, make this big TV series or this big budget movie when you don't even know what the ownership of the company is going to be? So it's bad short term and long term. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it breaks my heart. I mean, Warner Brothers is my favorite film studio historically. All the great, Bogart gangster films, all the Looney Tunes cartoons. I mean, it really is sad to see it kind of brought so low. Same thing with Paramount. I mean, Paramount released Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
Chinatown, for God's sakes. A lot of some of the greatest classic films, and those days are gone, man. They're just gone. Doug, anything to add about this? You got a dog in this fight. Which is the worst outcome, do you think?
Netflix wins.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for theaters, just forget it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
That's over it because I mean, even Paramount Skydance announced, "Oh, we want 30 movies a year in theaters," and so at least, that's what they said. So
Yeah.
I mean, at least there's an effort at it, and they're maintaining Paramount as a studio. So I would assume they would treat Warner Brothers the same. But either way, I mean, Warner Brothers is over. It's gone. I mean, it's just a tab on someone else's platform. After that. So I guess we got Warner Brothers properties and whatnot. So I guess it'll always be in the label and the credits or whatnot. But Paramount, just on my layman's view of this, is the better deal also. And I think that their lawsuit, they're suspecting some sort of shenanigans, that this was never serious to begin with, and that is there more better deals for the board individually than for the company at whole. And like, because why are you chasing this when it's an all cash offer? When the Netflix deal, well, it's a combination of cash and stock. Yeah, well, your stock's declining as we speak. So, there's more risk there. And the debt, and I mean, and a lot of for Warner Brothers, I mean, it's like, Warner Brothers, you're here because of your failures. I mean, this is the third sale of this company. And very recently, they sold to AT&T. Well, that didn't AT&T. So then Discovery comes in, and that's where they got Zaslav. And apparently he was on, and I guess you can count it as the second sale, but he was there to try to polish it up and sell it again, which he is now doing.
Yeah.
But just immediately within the bidding war such that it sounds like, and then all of a sudden Netflix sweeps in and takes it. Paramount's got grounds to be suspicious and whatnot, especially when they went so hard after it and they're buying off the whole thing. The split of the company was something Zaslav set into motion before the bidding war began. There was yes, what we're going to do, because it stands to reason. Paramount has interest in it, but those legacy cable or I'm like, really? But all right, they're going to take that off your hands, and you still no, we're going to split that off to make the IP and the studio, prettier and more inviting to someone. That would be perfect for Netflix, because what's Netflix going to do with cable TV? Nothing. They have no interest in that. There's no model for it. There's also no model for them to pursue theaters, even though, oh no, we're going to do that, guys, for 5 minutes, and then, well, it's ours. Shut up. No more of that. And, so you can just forget about theaters with Netflix. And there's this whole catalog and IP and legacy of Warner Brothers. It's not theaters anymore. None of, yeah, that's the deal. So it's bad all around. It's a terrible situation. These are the consequences of the idiocy that we have seen over the past 10 years. We know the era.
Yeah.
And here you are. This is where this ends up. And it's just not good around. So your best bet out of this mess is Paramount wins.
Yeah, I kind of, as a film goer, I don't know anything about the relative merits of, stock and cash, and they're rolling out I don't know that. All I know is I don't want theaters to collapse and disappear. So as a fan, I guess that's like you're saying, Doug. I think we're in agreement on that. I think Netflix is a marvelous service. I think they crank out some amazing stuff. But I don't want theatrical exhibition to go away, and that's what it seems like we're kind of looking at here. Osaka Chandal, anything you'd like to add to this?
I pretty much agree with what Doug was saying. Like, it's really sad. Like, going to the movies used to be like an exciting event to do with the family and stuff, or even like going on a date or whatever. And it's just like, we don't have that anymore. We've been disappointed at a letdown. Like, how did some movies even made it into theaters? Like, how bad they were. And it's just like, it just made it seem like a waste of money, considering how expensive theaters are. And I feel bad for people who work in the theater business, like not just the theater stuff, but also like filming, production, costume designs, all that. And it's just like, they just had like really terrible stories and terrible writers that are all forgettable. Like, growing up, I remember like so many of the movies that we love today, that's why they're classics, because their stories pulled us in. They allow us to have our escapism. We don't got that anymore. And I feel bad for the younger generations for that, because they grew up with slop, and it's sad.
Wow. Interesting. I agree with you. And it's just it's a sad day. It's sad to see classic Hollywood laid so damn low. Sean, anything you would like to add here?
Yeah, I know Rob was talking about was it Paramount making a tender offer, and the only time I did that, I had a drink thrown in my face. But no, I mean, which is better for me? I think Paramount getting it would be better, but we shouldn't fool ourselves. It's not like if Paramount gets it, all of a sudden, Hollywood's going to be back to the good old days. It's at best, it's just going to put it on life support a little bit longer. Netflix is only going to put things in theaters enough to where they'll put the stuff they want in for Oscar contention, because I think you have to have an X amount of theaters for a certain amount of time, and then they'll just do that and then yank it. But I don't know. I don't see how either one is going to benefit the fans much. I like what you were saying, DC. I want these older theaters to start showing the old stuff again. They've got a good opportunity to do this too, because there's Gen Z and Gen Alpha are becoming interested again in the older stuff, and there's a bit of a market there that the theaters can latch on to. And maybe keep them in long enough to maybe things will eventually turn around. But you're talking 10, 15 years before Hollywood ship makes a course correction in any meaningful way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Netflix, it's interesting. Angry Yeti TV had an interesting super chat that we'll discuss here in a minute. Hail to you, Angry Yeti TV, you arch villain, you. It's great to see you. And I just want to I don't know if I should bring this up right now, but it's really odd thing. Super Mastermind 1732. I'm going to read this right now because it's germane here. Super Mastermind 1732 with a $5 super chat is saying biggest news: Hulu will not automatically roll into Disney Plus. They will probably lose 50% to Netflix. Hulu costs tens of billions. I haven't heard anything about this. I don't know anything about this. I was asking about it, and he was saying that this news is maybe about 24 hours old. Rob, did you hear anything about this? I assumed it was just kind of
No, I haven't.
caboodle.
We had read that article a few weeks ago that basically all of Hulu was going to roll into Disney Plus this year.
Yeah.
I have Hulu, and they sent me a message saying you'll now be part of Disney Plus. You'll use the Disney Plus icon. So I think it does.
Okay, well that's interesting. I guess we'll look into this. I haven't heard a damn thing about that. But I want to thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Hail to you, brother. And yeah, that's interesting stuff. I guess let's I tell you what. Let's go ahead and get to our new super chats here, and then we'll move on to the next segment of the show. I think that's about good because I don't know that we've got a story that'll just go in about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and do that right now. It's time for super chats here, folks. And we have, courtesy of Fet for Hire, a brand new super chat animation here. I love it. It's very, very cool. Fet for Hire. I'm just going to put this right on top. There we go. Hail to the great Fet for Hire. I love this. Look, Harvey's silver chance, mofo. Exactly. Why you kids get off of my lawn, I love it. That makes me happy. All right, let's read some of these here super chats. And hail to Fet for Hire. It works like a charm, Fet for Hire. You are correct, sir. It works just like a charm. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Mr. Eagle Flying with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Mr. Eagle Flying. Says, hope life is better for you this week, Overlord DVD. Always good to hear you. Thank you, my friend. Well, the world is awash in all sorts of craziness, madness, disturbing stuff going on everywhere. But, I try not to dwell on the news, and I try to focus on all of you out there and, your many messages to me and YouTube, watch a lot of YouTube and stuff. But gosh, it's kind of crazy, but yes, for me personally, better this week, Mr. Eagle Flying. Thank you, my friend. Demo Man Chaos with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Demo Man Chaos. Says, if you thought you hated the legacy media enough, their disrespect towards Dilbert creator Scott Adams' death proves you cannot hate them near enough. Yeah. Just when you think they've hit a new, they've gone as low as they can, they surprise us. They hit a new rock bottom, new bottom of the barrel. The lack of civility in our culture is poisonous beyond belief. It's the anonymity and the kind of, I don't know, facades that you can bully behind. That it's just cruelty. Cruelty has become entertainment these days, folks, and it's sad. It's really very sad. Clint Skinner 007 with a $2 super chat. Hail, Clint Skinner says, will we get Pizza Boy Luke or Grumpy Luke at Disney? I hope we get Pizza Boy Luke. I don't have much faith in it, but it's possible we might get Pizza Boy Luke. Grumpy Luke, well, that's really goes along with, Kylo and in Ray, the Amazing Wonder Ray, the bestest ever. If you're gonna find Grumpy Luke, he'll probably be over at the Orange Julius stand. He'll probably be helping Ray juicing the oranges or whatever. I'm not sure. Watch this channel. We'll try to get to the bottom of that. Clint Skinner 007 also gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Hail to you, Clint Skinner 007. Thank you, my friend. Channel members, every week we put out a new channel member video, uncensored and demonetized for your enjoyment. And I just hope that you guys will watch that. Watch those videos every single week. And my wrenches will put a link to a playlist of all those videos out there for all of you, in case you didn't know about it, because YouTube doesn't do a great job of getting the word out. And also Kurt James gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel as well. Hail to you, Kurt James, and God bless you, sir. 2 channel memberships tonight. That's wonderful. Awarded to some lucky folks out there in the chat. And Descend into Madness with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. Says Goodfellas. I see you were on the right track. That's right. Tonight our movie is Goodfellas, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, February 14th is noted for a bunch of Irish gangsters being rubbed out by Italians. Well, cinematically at least, although I don't know, maybe in real life. Descend into Madness also says with another $5 super chat, you should celebrate that with movies about the great gangsters. Classics like Godfather 1 and 2, Casino, Bugsy, Scarface, and more. Old times. Hail to you, Descend into Madness. Yes, those are all worthy movies, my friend. All worthy movies. And I'm glad you're pleased with the track we're taking. We took a hint from Jack White, who suggested Goodfellas, and I thought it was a great suggestion. So we're going to be getting into that later on this evening. And Trevin Lane with a $10 super chat. Hail, Trevin Lane, sir. Trevin Lane says, hail, I'm on the way home, so I can't actively chat yet, but I'm listening in. I'm hearing that electronic components, RAM and CPUs, are getting scarce due to AI, making electronics far more expensive. Yeah, another way that AI is making our lives better is by soaking up all the fucking RAM and CPUs. And really, they're doing it for people are buying it en masse for fucking crypto farms and, AI and all this shit. And there ought to be some kind of law against this, because this is ruining our lives for assholes that are, using our resources to mine crypto. Fucking hell. It's insane. TMAC Burninator has been a channel member 55 months now. Hail to you, TMAC Burninator. Says, what a year, huh? Glad for all of you. And he's got a bucket head. Hail to you, TMAC Burninator. You're glad for all of us? What? Did something good happen that I am not aware of? Hail to you, TMAC Burninator. Well, double dumbass on us, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to, brother. Maybe you can clarify it in the regular chat here, because I'd like to know. What I should be grateful for here. Super Mastermind in the chat also says, worse is the RAM cards wear out after 7 to 9 years. Often a computer dies before that. Imagine when they need to not just add RAM chips, but replace the worn out ones. I know. Saul Shymek, an arch villain of mine, says, I work in IT. Scott's costs have skyrocketed. Yep. Oh, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world. Jack White with 2 $5 super chats. Hail to you, Jack White. Really appreciate those, my friend. Jack White says, hail, my lord. I got your email earlier. I'm glad to hear you checked out the links I sent you. Hopefully you guys will cover those movies soon. They are all excellent movies, dude. All excellent movies for sure. Jack White also says, did any of you see the trailer for the revival of Malcolm in the Middle and light novel series recommendation, Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter? No, I was not aware that there is any Malcolm in the Middle revival going on. Are they recasting it so that they're all, of color and, differently abled and, differently housed and, all of these things, or is it the same cast? I don't know anything about that, guys.
No, it's the same cast except for the younger kid who left acting to go to college, I think, to be a dentist or something.
Oh, good for him. Good for him. Got out of the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my answer to that would be yes, no, maybe. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I have not heard it. I've not heard it. I wasn't a huge fan of Malcolm in the Middle, so probably not the target audience. I was more of a, Married with Children kind of guy. Vinny, yeah, Peg. God, she was hot. Vinny NJ78 with a $5 super chat. Alas, he says, Scott Adams, for we knew ye. Oh, that Dogbert may push the button, so together he and Harvey may set upon the world. Yeah, rest in peace, Scott Adams. Dilbert was a staple, amongst, office workers and, 9-to-5ers and techies and stuff. Definitely a wonderful strip, and it will be missed, and God bless him. May he rest in peace. It's sad. But we're getting more of that all the time, aren't we? Paula Veter Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. Hail to you, Paula Veter Gamer says, hail DC, an illustrious panel. Seems Disney is finally going OG Star Wars at Galaxy's Edge and dumping sequel trilogy. A sign of things to come? I believe so. I really do believe so. I think that's absolutely true. I think that, we're seeing the release of the original Star Wars movies in theaters. Probably we'll get the remastered Blu-rays and 4Ks following those releases. I don't know how they swung it, but they're doing it. And of course, this hopefully will lead to, renewed interest in real Star Wars, and thereby God getting back to the business of real Star Wars, and God bless them for it. I don't know if it can be saved at this point. I hope it can. I certainly do. And I'll certainly be there buying tickets for that, buying the discs. And God knows, it could be an opportunity for Jon Favreau maybe to get his stuff back on track and, and ditch the, Mando and Goo shit. And, maybe just kick ass and take names and have some damn fun again in the galaxy far, far away. That would be so awesome. Aaron Pipes with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Aaron Pipes says, Gary should be happy that our evil overlord deems him worthy of receiving oxygen and water. Some minions just don't recognize the kindness of their betters. I know, it's so easy to take for granted the myriad of blessings that we have every day. This is absolutely true. I say this all the time, folks, and I know that these are dark times on the surface because there's so much darkness and anger and discord out there. But I tell you, at any given time, if we are breathing, if we are alive, that means that our blessings are beyond counting. Always our blessings are beyond our detriments. We are engineered as a problem-solving technological species, an aggressive species, to always see the danger, always see the darkness, always see the threats. We focus on the threats. We never focus on the, countless blessings that we have. And I have to remind myself of this every day because I see the darkness out there, and it does wear on me. It makes me sad to, be in this space where, I don't really recognize this country a lot of times anymore. But I'm reminded, oh my goodness, think about, you can walk and see and hear, and, you have food, water, you have electricity, just a myriad and all the things going right in your body at any given time. It's astonishing when you think about it. And I'm always very, very grateful. And I just say that just hoping maybe to put, a little perspective on these dark times, because there is a lot of things out there to be upset about. But gosh, just look in your own backyard, look at yourself, and realize how many things are going right in your life at any given moment. So just a little mini sermon from Father Doomcock here. Jack White with a 10. And I struggle with it too. I'm no master of it by any means. I want to make that quite clear. I struggle with it. There's a lecture I give myself all the time. Jack White with a $10 super chat and a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Jack. He says, Gary, I sent you some stuff that you can use to pass the time with, and that stuff is High School DxD, which is outstanding. World's End Harem. I haven't had a chance to look at World's End Harem yet. Queen's Blade, yes. Rebel Hero. The Hidden Dungeon only I can enter. Ladies, have you got a hidden dungeon? And can I enter? And Jack White with a $5 super chat says, new series recommendation, Tune Into the Midnight Heart. Yes, that is one that I have not heard before. Thank you, Jack White. Hail to you, my friend. God bless you, brother. And Descend Into Madness with a $2 super chat. He says, the show came up and I lost my train of thought. Well, if it gets derailed after it got derailed, Descend Into Madness, just let us know in the chat and I'll look for it, call it to my attention at Overlord DVD, and I'll see if I can read it for you. I hate it when that happens, man. I hate it when that happens. You know, it's an active brain. You know, you've got something in your head and then you see, oh, look, a butterfly, and then it's gone. You know, that's just the way of the world. Angry Yeti TV. It's been an arch villain of mine for 32 months now. Hail to you, Angry Yeti TV. He says, changes at Galaxy's Edge, a day late and billions of dollars short, Disney, and laughing emojis. Well, you know, oh, fuck. I know, man, I know. But listen, it does nobody good if the sucking continues. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a ideologue. You know, I'm a very practical supervillain. All that I want is some good entertainment again. I want pop culture to get better again. And yes, there's been unpleasantness in the past. There have been abuses, there's been insults, there's been, all sorts of just chicanery and devastation and vandalism. But damn it, do we move forward and get our Star Wars back, get our Star Trek back, for God's sakes? Maybe someday even get our Doctor Who back, or do we just chew on bile and anger? I want good things. I want good things. So I am actually pulling for Disney. I'm pulling for Marvel on Avengers Doomsday, but I'm just not being encouraged by some of the stuff I'm seeing. But these are short teasers. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But I'm hopeful. I'm not expecting good things. I'm not optimistic, but I'm hopeful. Hope springs eternal. Well, I got a new, diving board. It's springing pretty good. Maybe, who knows? Kurt James with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt James. It's great to see you, buddy. He says, love Wednesdays and Fridays. Hail Osaka, Gary, Doug, Heather, and Rob. Hail Lord Doomcock. Thank you all for making Xanadu the place to be. Hail, chat, and wrenches. Visit Doomcock's Patreon ASAP. Yeah, we got a lot of great stuff on Patreon. If you're a fan of the humor on this channel, I tell you, you got to go listen to Cthulhu's Realm. It's a monthly podcast that Harvey and I do. And I swear to God, it's the funniest shit I've ever done with Harvey. We bring it out of each other, man. I swear to God, it's amazing. I really enjoy that stuff. And we got a whole bunch of years of back content on there. So go and check it out. Patreon.com/Doomcock for sure. Inspector 17 has been a channel member 18 months and says, great way to spend some time. Thank you, Inspector 17. And Kurt James with a $5 super chat says, don't. Hail Sean Carter. I have to adjust my bifocals before sending the next super chat. Hail Sean. So he felt bad that he left you out, Sean, but it was not intentional.
That's okay. Kurt's cool.
He's very cool. He's very cool. All right, folks. I love this new graphic. I think it's super cool. Let's go ahead and get back to our next topic of discussion. All right. So, Marvel released a fifth tiny little teaser, Avengers Doomsday teaser. In this one, okay, let's review. Let's review what we've seen. We saw Steve Rogers returns. That's good. That was a good thing to see. Not much happens, but still, it's just that the fact that he's coming back is good. You've got Thor, who also has a kid, so they both got kids, and it's good to see Hemsworth back again. As the original Thor. That's good. Not She Thor, not Beta Ray Bill. It's just good old Thor. The third one was what the X-Men? Yes. And that was nice to see. That was probably the although how many times are we going to watch Professor X bite the dust? I don't know. I guess 4 or 5. I don't know. I think it's up to 4 now. I don't know. Okay. And then we've got this one, right? Which is Jesus. I don't know. You got this big build up, like, oh, here's Wakanda, stepping out, and they're rallying, and they're looking grim, and it's all exciting, and they say, hey, it's Ben Grimm, and then they say, Wakanda and Fantastic Four will return in it. That was like the worst one. Mainly because of, Ben Grimm, it seems completely, I don't know. I don't know. You can't judge anything really by these stupid tiny, but wouldn't it be better to release nothing than these like really flat, really boring teasers that don't tease? If these teasers were fluffers in the porn industry, they'd be out on their ass. Clothed ass. You know what I'm saying? It would just be, I'm not teased. I'm not teased at all. I'm annoyed. That was not a good teaser. I think that was the worst one, just because it just, at least you got a little emotion or something. The Fantastic Four sucks. Okay? It sucks. And all that was a reminder of how bad the Fantastic Four sucks. The Black Panther stuff, the Wakanda stuff was fine, but it was like an anticlimax. It seemed like they were all moving towards something really big, and then it's like, hey, Herbie made some new sauce, or I really fuck. I would just ask them, and like today on X, I saw a post of one of the directors saying, folks, these are not teasers. These are clues. Pay attention to them. That was the quote. These are clues. Pay attention to them. And it's like, dude, there's nothing happening in these fucking things. Maybe the clues are way in the background, out of focus. It's like people are kind of, maybe they're sensing the general ennui and lack of teaserness about these things, the lack of enthusiasm as it's gone on. Give us something real. It would be better not to do anything than to just kind of trot out these really bland vignettes. One trailer with just flashes, boom, 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 showing, Steve Rogers, showing, the X-Men, showing Thor, showing, Ben Grimm, whatever, showing Wakanda, and then, boom, it's coming, something like that. It would be much better than these, minute-long nothings. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I'm still hopeful that this is just bad marketing. God knows, Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, if y'all remember that movie, it was a really good movie with one of the worst fucking marketing programs I've ever fucking, it was awful. The poster was awful. The name is awful. It killed the box office. It's actually a pretty damn good movie and would have made a great series. Just call it The Destroyer, like the books. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a marketing guy. I'm just a fan, but I'm not teased. I'm not fluffed. Gary, and welcome Andy Masterson to the show. Gary, what did you think about this stuff? All of this shit.
Well, I mean, you pretty much said what I thought, which was, I read the quote from the Russo brothers. They're not teasers, they're clues. Pay attention. Like, really, like that they're telling us what to do. Apparently,
Yes. Yes.
like usually the teaser should be interesting enough to where people don't have to tell people, hey, pay attention to this.
Are you
like,
not teased?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have I don't have a dog in the fight in Marvel. I really don't. I didn't even see Endgame. I heard it ended there. Now it's starting up again. I don't care. I really want the Marvel movies and all the superhero movies to go the way of the Western. I really, really do. I'm really, really tired of like everything is a fucking franchise. Everything. Like, new movies are just a video game franchise that hasn't been made into a movie yet.
Yes.
That's a new movie now. More crap to be exploited. I'm so fucking tired of it. I really am, man.
Yeah.
I just want to see some original. I want to go to the movie theater and see an original movie with a movie star that I like.
Yeah.
But I guess I have to get it's so funny. It's like they're trying to pull the legacy sequel thing with Marvel, but it's not that old yet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
The best
really
fucking
don't.
movies these days, the best fucking movies are those that are lower budget, kind of indie at heart, things that come out of left field, like Weapons, I mean, it's got some stars in it, but it it came out of left field. It was cheap. John Wick, surprised
that was
everyone.
cool. That was cool. But I just I don't want to see these movies anymore. And I don't know that putting a main character from a movie that completely failed in your teaser trailer for a movie that's coming out is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they probably planned all this. Well, hopefully they planned it before the movie was a flop, but they had to know at some point. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Did anybody ask for this?
Nope.
I mean, was there like this huge campaign where it was like, we don't want the Marvel Cinematic Universe to end. We want another movie to continue it on. Was that a big thing?
Nope.
I didn't see it that way.
Well, you can't compare, the Marvel universe to Kylo Ren and Rey. I mean, the outpouring has been just rabid for a Kylo Ren movie. You can't compare that level of demand to, Avengers Doomsday. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be fair.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not a Marvel guy. You guys there's some hardcore Marvel guys on this panel. I'm more interested in their opinion, but me, really, I'm out.
All right. Well, fair enough. In the defense of Marvel, I would say that from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, it was like an unparalleled achievement in film. Never had anyone coordinated all these diverse films and elements to build and build and build to one big story. It was a fucking work of genius. Honestly,
that marketing and planning was really good on Disney's part.
Incredible.
Yeah,
it's never been done before, and I don't think
Correct.
it'll ever be done again. And so a lot of us are still hungry. Those of us that really loved this stuff, and there was a lot to love. I mean, even things like Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man, which was more comedic and had a finale with two small guys fighting on a model train. It was fun. It was original.
Yeah, they took some of the lower end characters and made them into cool movies. I enjoyed Ant-Man. I mean, for what it's worth.
Fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this shit, I don't know. I pray that they can recapture it. I just don't know. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting. There's supposed to be their hints, they're some of that, and I don't know how to take that. Apparently, I saw something to where the clocks all correspond to supposedly somebody figured out the code that it all corresponds to parts of Endgame, which show all of the Infinity Stones. And the incursion was the whole time sequence where they went back in time to get all the Infinity Stones, and that caused all the incursions. And that's supposedly the big hint. I don't know. That could be true. That could not be. You would hope that you would make the hint a little bit more obvious so that people aren't trying to use deciphers and do all this stuff to figure something out, which I think is a little bit crazy. The thing that I worry about is, we're going to show you these previews, and some of these characters won't even be in the movie because, hey, this is what happened to them. We saw the flashback, or they'll be in there for a scene in flashback. So I don't know. I've also heard rumors about how they're setting it up with the X-Men are a different Earth, and then the Marvel guys are a different Earth, and somehow Doom is tricking them to fight against each other, and he's trying to consolidate all these Earths into like 3 Earths left for Battle World. I don't know. It's interesting speculation, but I don't know what to think with all this, because I kind of want to see my heroes on the screen, but when I hear the movie's going to be 3 hours and 45 minutes, that kind of makes me pray for an intermission and think, why am I going to sit on my butt in a theater for that long? And then why aren't you making like 3 movies or 2 movies out of this? So I don't know. It may be good, but give me a full trailer and not some of this, little bits and pieces stuff. Give me something to get excited about, because I'm cautious, I'm hopeful, but I just am like, well, what's going to happen here? What are we doing? Is this fan service, or is it something real and tangible that I can get behind?
Yeah, 3 movies is a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do 3 hours and 45 minutes, I mean,
yeah, do 3 2-hour movies and make it kick ass. Yeah, I agree, Rob. I like, if you're going to do it. But if you're going to make one movie and jam pack all this shit in there and make people uncomfortable after 2 hours and they want to leave, that's not good.
Nope.
That's not good.
Well, the good news is your Ben Grimm popcorn dispenser. Your bucket will come with a tube that you can be a handy tube for relief. That's what I heard. It's slobbering time. I don't, or maybe it'll be a Namor one or a Namor or whatever.
Oh Lord.
Hey, old Gillface. So Doug, what do you think, man? I'm not blown away by this stuff, but
no,
it's early. But I tell you, they fucked up. If it is relating, Rob, if it is relating to the Infinity Stones and all that, they really kind of completely fucked that entire thing when they showed like a desk drawer full of Infinity Stones in the offices of the Time Authority, whatever. I mean, that really just pissed off. That was awful. Doug, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, you see, these are making up for the movies they didn't do to set this one up.
Yeah, exactly.
So you gotta, pay attention to these teasers. They're not teasers, they're stories. So really, Captain America has a baby. Thor's in the woods talking to his dead dad about his adopted daughter. What do I do? I don't know anything about raising girls. I don't know. And then, the X-Men one more time. Okay. That's nice. And then, like we're going to kill Professor X. How many Professor X's have they killed? And they killed him in Deadpool, Anyway, and then this one, which I didn't even see Wakanda Forever. So, and then Fantastic Four I saw, but it might as well not have. So, and it's like, whoa, look, it's Ben Grimm. Yep. That's him. And it says, what does it mean? It looks like they're walking around in that limbo world, that Deadpool was in and Loki was in and all that. So I figure that's what it is. And then, there's probably the Infinity stuff, because the rumor was they're going to undo post-Endgame stuff, which, sure, I bet you wish you could for real. It's too late. And then the whole thing, it's always been this Hail Mary pass. So it's like, yeah, Dr. Doom's coming. You haven't introduced your movie audience to this character. You know, it said, hey, this is the new Infinity War. No, it's not. Because Thanos was weaved in those movies little by little. You got little cookie crumbs here and there, and that was part of the excitement, you know, for it. You didn't do any of that with Dr. Doom. You had Kang, and then that screwed up. So then you quickly switch that around, but you can't even use the name Dr. Doom. Because if this was just, say, Dr. Doom, and we didn't know who was playing him, and they kept it a mystery and all that, there would be no interest. So you had to say Robert Downey Jr. is back, you know, and that's the whole thing, and that's it, you know. And your favorite network stars will be battling it out in the obstacle course. Watch Chris Evans get dunked into the pool by Namor. I don't know. And that's it. So that's all they got. There's not enough time for them to make it. But, just for the, I don't know, for the gimmick, and you have fun looking at it. It might work for the movie. It's not going to work for MCU overall. The damage is pretty severe, and we've already seen evidence of brand damage. It's like, I guess I'm in the minority here, but the last three movies they did were not as bad as I expected them to be. Thunderbolts was actually pretty good, but nobody saw that. Nobody knew what it was. And then again, the brand damage, and the Captain America thing, which was a Hulk movie with no Hulk, a Captain America movie with no Captain America. There's so much stupid going into it, but all in all, I've seen worse. And then Fantastic Four, just, I felt sorry for it, and that was it. But, and then, it's like, it goes back to when we were watching Daredevil. And I said, it was a bad show, and they really dropped the ball, and they tried to fix it, but it was too late. But nobody showed up to begin with. This was the most popular televised show they had done. Netflix did it, but nevertheless, their property. And nobody cared. The damage was already done. The Marvel name does not have the shine it once did. And that's going to be very difficult to get that back. You had some aberrations. You had Deadpool. That's great for Deadpool, and people wanted to see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds power around, and that's all it is. It's not that great of a movie. It's fun. That's it. This one might be fun. That'll be great. But as far as, can you get Marvel back on track like it was? I don't think so. Gary, you've got people outside. I understand what you the Marvel reign was an amazing thing. I never thought that would ever happen. And there you got to see it on the screen, an actual appropriation of the comic book universe as best as they could. And they did it. I had hoped DC could do the same. They stumbled and failed. And now the era of that, it's over. It's probably back to Batman movies and Spider-Man, and that'll be about it. That's probably their best bet.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. The Spider-Man stuff, who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah.
And although Batman, I mean,
right now, no, but
no.
I mean,
eventually, I mean, Batman can't. It's hard to fuck up Batman.
I mean, Batman is like a James Bond franchise. There'll always be one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Shit, I saw a video of the next Batman movie, which was a guy in a bat suit jumping on a trampoline on X, and it that right there was better than.
Is that the one where he crashed into a shed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, the bat shed. Please have some respect.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know. I really love that stuff. I love Batman. Is my favorite. What do you say, Osaka Chandal? Were you blown away by any of these Avengers Doomsday trailers?
So these trailers, I kind of felt like the Marvel team was divided in two. Like the ones who love the stuff that was during Endgame and who grew up with comic books, who love the lore. And then you have the ones who don't care for comic books or anything, who are trying to push the Disney Plus stuff. So all right, let's see whose trailer gets the most views. And so the one who did X-Men, that was the most popular one. But then you have the one who posted the Ben Grimm one. It's just nobody likes your stuff. Like it just feels like the two of them are like competing against each other. Like it wasn't consistent. Like how can you have a interesting one with Chris Evans and Thor, where people are like, all right, maybe I might go see it, and then you go, all right, what's this one? And then it's like, that's a really crappy movie nobody cares about. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
I just feel like the marketing team is divided into two, like just to see which ones are the most popular. It's like you already lost your audience. Like when you started like dissing on Stan Lee and all his work and Kirby's work and stuff like that, it's just like, what's the point? You're just gonna let us down again. You already made us watch all these garbage and changed everything about the characters that we grew up with, that we love, and you made them into something they're not. I mean, look at Thor: Love and Thunder. They made Thor into a blonde-headed bimbo. Yeah, you gave him a kid at the end, but you made him a moron. All that character development and build up, like that led him into Endgame to the character we want him to be, the Thor that we want him to be, and then you just turned him dumbed down again. Like, I don't know. It was just stupid. It was really dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm
No,
not excited for the movie. Like, I'll wait for it to come on streaming. I'm not gonna go to the theater.
wow. Ouch. Ouch. That's a stinging comment there, Osaka Chandal. Holy shit.
I just
yeah.
found
See,
something interesting here. According to Collider, the trailers are dropping on their peak views.
Really?
The first Doomsday teaser peaked at 11 or 18 million. The second peaked at 17. The third peaked at 14, and now the fourth looks like it's going to peak out at about 6 million.
Wow.
So
Ouch.
there is kind of a. It looks like there's kind of a lack of interest. It would appear.
Absolutely. And look at that. Rob's got the run there. Look at that.
Wow.
He's got him. There's some great movies in there, man. There's definitely some great movies in there, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nicely done. But that's interesting, Gary, about those views dropping. That's got to be a concerning sign. That's probably why he posted, these are not teasers. These are clues.
Right.
Pay attention.
Yeah, to almost like, psychologically order you to watch them and to boost the views. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah, somebody should get a clue, but it's not the fans.
That 100%, Andy. 100%. Heather L., what do you think?
Oh, this was the worst one. I mean, The Thing. Good grief, that voice.
Yeah.
he stole Sue Storm's Valium and took it to with him. It's bad. Maybe if you watch the movie, like, you're used to him, but I didn't watch it. Every time I see him, it's just like, oh, really? His voice is just terrible. It's just not the Thing. And no energy. It just kind of seems like, I don't know. It was bad. I maybe less popular characters and the views went down. People didn't like rewatch it. I don't know, but how do they keep this up until December? Are they going to keep putting these out? Like now they start going to short trailers. I mean, they're desperately trying to build excitement for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So do they keep releasing this stuff like little drips? I don't know.
I don't know. Ben, it's fucked up. I mean, Ben Grimm makes Bob Ross look like Sid Vicious. I mean, Ben Grimm runs for the shelter of Sue's mother's little helper, and
it's bad. It's bad.
He says to Bruce Banner, "Let me tell you a little secret about myself. I'm never angry." And he pops a Valium and smiles. Yeah. It's slobbering time because then he passes out and drools. Andy, what did you think of this latest trailer, teaser, whatever?
Back in the days of old, boys used to read things like comic books, Playboy magazines, and dreaming of that magical moment, get into high school and like you experience that, find out that this magical girl is also up with half the football team, and you had some great times, but she half the football team and gave you crabs and all that, and now she's coming back after she's all learned her lesson and saying, "Hey, can we just forget about the tight end and the quarterback and everybody else and start over?" And the magic's kind of
This is
gone,
very specific.
and then you find out maybe once more for old time's sake, and then you find out that Jenna has AIDS and she dies anyway. So
Oh,
I don't see that this is really going to because this is what's going to happen, right? They want to jump up all this interest in this to reset it anyway. We know it's going to reboot. We know they're going to have different actors, different things. How do we button it up and bring in all the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and and Ben Grimm? I'm happy to see Stephen Wright's got some work again, but he's just not like. What are we going to do? Have a showdown between him and Mark Ruffalo about who can be more pissy and dour? I'm always saying, yeah, me too. It's I remember getting those old covers with the Thing and the Hulk battling it out, and it was cool. Now it's they'll probably sit down in the cafeteria and discuss their feelings. I'm happy to see that we haven't had a She-Hulk in there. Hopefully that she's gone. The Wakanda Forever. There was a Wakandan character that everybody liked. Character, not actor. Black Panther. And the actor died. Christopher Reeve died too, but we've had other Supermen. We've had different Batmen. We've had you recast the part because it's a character. It's not the actor that's important. It's that's the James Bond effect, right? And everybody's understood this because I don't know. At this point, we've already had multiple James Bonds, multiple Supermen, multiple Batmen. But Black Panther, you can't touch that one. And you see what's happened with this. It's and this is the problem, that they don't want to disavow what they've done. They don't want to admit their mistake. They don't want to say that we screwed up. You can see, why did they bring back Steve Rogers? Well, because he was the popular one out there. And you know what? Anthony Mackie, if you had built him up, you didn't make that horrendous Falcon and Winter Soldier show that 10 people saw, where he's telling you that you don't call that person a terrorist just because they blew people up and burned them alive. That's just wrong to say that. And how are you supposed to get behind that hero? How are you supposed to root for this guy now after you've already had him and you really liked him as Falcon, and now you've got this other thing going on there, and nobody goes to see the movie. It's been chopped up and reworked into some kind of Frankensteinian nightmare, and that flops. And I'm with Doug. I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I think that if this had been a healthy franchise, much like Star Wars, if Star Wars had been a healthy franchise, I think Andor would have been done much better. If the Marvel franchise had been healthy, Thunderbolts would have been received much better. But it's when the poop's floating in there, and every once in a while you see something there's something shiny in there. It's still sitting in a bowl of poop. You don't want to go fishing for it. It's it ruins it just by the connection of it. It could have been something great if everything else, and where they deviated was from the source material. And here we go. Let's get you excited by showing you things about how much we've deviated from the source material. I don't think that there's anybody there that understands how to write these characters. It's a shame that John Byrne. Oh wait, John Byrne is still alive. Maybe they could ask him how to write the thing, because he did a pretty good job with it. And they could say, all right, how should we approach this character? Because apparently these people don't know, and they don't understand. We had to have Sue Storm as the world leader, and I'm an ambassador and doing all this, and I'm going to kick Galactus's ass by myself. What the hell do you need the rest of the other three for? Because you got Sue there, who's supremely powerful, and you did the same thing with Galactus as you did with Kang, If Ant-Man can beat Kang, how much of a threat is he? If Sue Storm can beat Galactus, who else do you need? Like, we got her. Like, it's they say they're course correcting, but they're not. They haven't learned their lesson because they don't know what the lesson is. They should, but they haven't. As a long-term Marvel fan, I'm going to be, I would have loved to have seen Namor meeting Captain America, and maybe there would have been a thing back there because surprise, they were both World War II era superheroes. Yeah, they could have met back there, have like an Invaders thing, the story that you haven't told yet, just kind of like they made the Invaders back in the 70s. And but no, you're gonna have Namor, the boy who grew up without love. Thank you, Victoria Alonso, for your ruining that piece. And so they shit in the punch bowl, and they're wondering why nobody's going back for seconds. And they're trying to get you and telling you that we've cleaned out the punch bowl, but you still got the aftertaste. It's hard to wash that out.
No, that's a valid point, and I think a lot of people are having that aftertaste. Sean, any reaction to this latest volley in the Avengers Doomsday publicity campaign?
Honestly, I haven't looked at any of it because I don't care. And it's funny, a very cynical part of me, and I'm sure this isn't true, but it fits. Isn't it funny that they haven't recast Black Panther, which would have been a good movie and been successful, and they shelved Blade. And Blade was probably their best chance of revitalizing, getting people interested, because it's an easy win. You just make a badass vampire slayer, put a new guy as Blade, or bring back Wesley Snipes and have him kill vampires. We would have eaten it up. But thing is, though, we would have loved that, and that would have destroyed their narrative of all the istophobe stuff. So that little cynical part of me is like, well, is that really why they're not making it? Because we'd like it. It would destroy their narrative. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but it's just kind of frustrating that here's this movie everyone is asking for, and we're not getting it. We've been asking for New Blade for years. No, we're going to make a 3 hour and 45-minute movie that is just cramming old stuff into I don't care about any of this, but it's just frustrating. And like Andy said, it's the punch bowl of poo.
Well, maybe they'll put that on their poster.
The punch bowl
of poop, says Pop Culture Breakdown. I think that would be an interesting quote.
Well, that Blade movie, they cast Mahershala Ali, who's almost as old as Wesley Snipes, so they could make it about Blade's daughter. So you wouldn't have gotten the Blade movie you wanted anyway, because they would have made the Blade movie they wanted.
Well, right, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they would have made what we wanted, they would be printing money. It would have been a success.
I don't understand why they don't just use Wesley Snipes. I mean, the Deadpool Wolverine movie right there proves, like, every single scene that he was in, he stole the show. So it's just like, hello, this is what the fans want. We want Wesley Snipes. We want our Blade, not this new modern day audience that doesn't exist kind of Blade, not some girl bossing daughter that magically now exists or whatever. We don't want that. We want our Blade killing vampires the way he did in the other films.
Yeah.
We want him. He's the same age. Use him anyways. Use Wesley Snipes.
They could have set him in the future. He's older, maybe 100 years in the future. It would have been a cool movie.
Well, the other aspect of this is that the reality and the sad reality that we've lived in for the last 5 to 10 years has been they don't give a rip about what the audience wants. They only care about their narrative. The making money doesn't matter. Telling a good story doesn't matter. It's all about the narrative and what they're trying to do. Now, if the Russos are willing to change that and do that, I'm all for it. But I would like something that's a little bit more streamlined and not taking everything and putting it all into one big gobbledygook movie that I'm going to have a hard time sitting through. I'd rather it be, several shorter movies that tells a really good story that brings me back into those characters.
Mm-hmm.
There was a rumor that one of the script treatments for Blade was a really stripped down, a cheap version of it, to where he was trapped in an apartment building that was infested with vampires, and there was like one human family left, and he had to battle through the hallway. Something like that. You probably could have pulled off with not a whole lot of money. To just. It's all it is a guy who fights vampires. It's like, why? That's not hard to figure out. Years went by. We give up. We don't know what to do. Yeah. So yeah, there goes Blade. They got Black Panther. Yeah, the teaser says Wakanda in Fantastic Four will return. Is it not Black Panther in Fantastic Four? Because and they cast this guy who played Black Manta in the Aquaman films, but they cast him as Wonder Man. That's going to come and go and no one will watch. Wonder Man's white. So they race swapped yet another character when this guy is perfectly capable of being the recast for Black Panther. Just go ahead, put him in the suit, and there you go. You've got Black Panther. No. So
now he's Wonder Man. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, Saka Chandal was talking about that earlier. She sent me a little thing about no. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean that's a very, very valid point. And it's kind of ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, folks, Saka Chandal, did you want to say something?
I was gonna say it's funny how like Disney and Disney Plus is very rarely even marketing Wonder Man, and it's about to air. So I just found it funny, like they don't want to show it. Like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this.
Yeah, I hadn't heard a damn thing about it.
I think they're going to dump all the episodes at once. So
they
don't believe in it either.
Guest star?
What was that, Andy?
Any chance Ironheart will guest star?
Hey, here's hoping, huh? Boy, that thing ended on a cliffhanger. Oh no, what's going to happen to Ironheart?
Well, and to be honest, to me, it really feels like with a lot of this stuff, they've really pushed out all the good writers, and they don't have a good writing rooms for this either. You got people that are indoctrinated, and then your writers are both the writer and the creator. And when you don't separate the two, you sometimes get some really bad stuff because the creator can't separate from the writing. They can't separate their techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they showed us the writing room in She-Hulk.
That
was the real writing room.
Oh boy,
painful.
Yeah.
Speaking of painful and sad, Stranger Things finale. The Stranger Things season 5. So have you wondered why it sucked? Assuming you thought it sucked, you may have been one of those that thought it was great, and if you did, good. God bless you. I'm glad. I would like it if people enjoyed this, but I thought since season 4 it's been downhill. It's come out an interesting thing, a funny thing. This was a little behind the scenes video. Here's a little clip. I'm gonna share this with you guys. This was a little clip from on the old X tube, and it says this is from Montana. Today is a very interesting day. We are shooting episode 8, which isn't completely written yet. And then the person says, so we don't even fully know what's going on, with a smile. This is a finale of your fucking entire series. And you don't even fully know what's going on. This is not good. This is not good. How can you go ahead, exterior cave, and how can you fucking do such a disservice to yourself, to your show, to your audience, to the series? This is going to impact the rewatchability of your show. Just ask Game of Thrones. Ask Game of Thrones after their last season. How many people revisit Game of Thrones? How many people revisit Lost, for fuck's sake? You know, when you shit out the ending, when you make it just a vile, stupid, worthless piece of trash that, you know, didn't show any love, any care, any respect for yourself or your fucking audience, you just shit that thing out there so you can move on to your next little project that it got you. You know, with Benioff and Weiss, you know, they've got their Star Wars trilogy coming up. Oh, we can't be bothered to do a good job ending, you know, fucking Game of Thrones. Well, we remember that. We remember that. I will never watch another like rewatch of Game of Thrones. I'll never rewatch another fucking episode of Lost. And Game of Thrones offended me so much. I don't watch, you know, House of the fucking Dragon, or they got some new fucking half-ass, you know, spin-off coming out here about, you know, Sir what's his name and, you know, his fucking squire.
Aegon.
Fuck all that shit. I will never go back to Westeros. So, you know, make sure that you've got enough time, you know, rolling in your money and, you know, planning your other projects to fucking dance with the ones that brung you and bring it home and make it not fucking stink. I mean, that's just a fucking disgrace. Gary, when you saw this, you sent it to me. What did you think about that? Because, oh, fuck me, you know?
Well, I mean, I knew from, I mean, I think it was the making of the first season. They said, we don't have a plan for the show after season 1.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked. You know, I mean, it really didn't take much to know after watching those episodes in the last season that they didn't have a plan for it. The only shocking thing is that they're admitting it in the documentary, and they're kind of laughing about it. So nobody knows what's going on today. It's like, wow. Okay. I mean, I understand that the production assistant doesn't know. I get that. You know, they're not going to just throw script pages around. They could, you know, they could say that, oh, well, she just didn't know. We had it written, but they don't have it written. They didn't have it written. They didn't know what they were doing. They had a couple of ideas, I think, but I mean, that was apparent after season 2.
Yeah.
You know, like, so is this a shock? No, but I like hearing it because, you know, a lot of people are criticizing people that called it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I that first season of the show is fantastic. Those guys did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they take a little bit of fucking time and write something good? They could do it. It's not like they couldn't do it. They just didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's the thing. Look, I can understand, like, you don't have faith in your show, or, you know, you're surprised that it's a hit. You're surprised that you're going to have more seasons, but you sit your fucking ass down and you come up with an ending at that point,
right?
You know, while you're writing season 2, how about you have a full, like, mapping out of the major, like, milestones of the whole story, so that you come up with a fucking ending, and you can go around and weave in and out of that.
Fucking ends.
Exactly.
You have to know how it ends, because everything you do up until that point needs to service that.
Exactly.
Everything you do. You can't just make up shit and be like, well, we don't know if we're going to get another season, so we'll leave it on a cliffhanger. Well, that is unfinished right there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You have to plan something out. It doesn't matter whether you don't know if you're going to be renewed for a season. You plan for it. You plan for it. And if you don't get to shoot your ending, then you're fucked. I get it, but at least you plan for that. You can't
at least
just
have a
leave
broad
it open,
idea.
you know,
a broad idea.
Yeah,
you know,
it never works out, and everything always needs an ending. You can't leave shit open to go on for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Not in a show
really
like that.
Kill something at that point. You know, everything great has started and has an ending. Everything great. Whether people want to face that or not, it doesn't matter. Every great thing ends. All good things come to an end. Mm-hmm. So we might as well plan that out and make it the best ending we can possibly make. And there you go. And the first season did end. You know, they carried it on to where they could do something, and I understand maybe at that point they don't know if they're going to get renewed. But if you get picked up for a second season and you see how popular that show is after the first season, yeah, you're going to get another 4 seasons. You know what I mean? Just fucking write it. But they didn't.
Nope.
They didn't. And they have millions of fans. There's so many people that love this show, and they fucked them over.
Yep, they did. Just
So-
like Game of Thrones did, just like Lost
Yeah.
did.
Exactly. I thank God I never invested in Game of Thrones. I thank God I never invested in Lost either. I was never interested.
Well, I got suckered. That was my first and worst, screwing by that. David Fury, who was a writer for 24, quit the writing staff at the end of season 1, and he told them in an interview, those guys are just making it up as they go. They don't have any plan, and they were heaping mystery on mystery on mystery on mystery with no fucking clue or plan to ever solve that shit. And so to me, that's the most dishonest show in history. I mean, at least, Stranger Things, they didn't have an island with a cork in it, and they have, talking polar bears or hurly birds or just to hype up. Listen, it's the easiest fucking thing in the world to come up with something innovative and fascinating and an amazing twist if you have no plan to ever address it or solve it. You can just let any absurd shit you want, and you're never gonna have to justify it or explain it. So yeah, this is basically Stranger Things, and now I'm not sure, Rob, what's the status? Are they coming up with Stranger Things spin-offs on Netflix, or have those been canceled? I can't hear.
Apparently, there's a spin-off that's going to take place between seasons 2 and 3 with other characters and other stuff. And there might be a spin-off where you look at the past with Vecna, because they still got that play that they may show. But I mean, honestly, first off, also to mention Lost real quick, you detonate an atomic bomb and it doesn't kill anybody or anything. I mean, whatever. But yeah, this whole thing is so disappointing. The other thing that I hear with this that I don't like is the fact that they wrote like the first 4 episodes, and then, oh, there was a writer's strike. Oh, one of the duffers got divorced. Oh, the horror, the things we couldn't write 6 more freaking episodes, or 4 more episodes of this to finish it out and do it the right way. My goodness, Doomcock back in the day, remember, for standard television was about 20 something episodes a season. The writers had to have an idea of where the whole season arc was. They may not have been able to write like all the episodes right at once, but at least they had you had your overarching story where, hey, we're going to be here at the beginning of the season. We're going to be here at the end of the season. And then we want this subplot and this subplot through the entire season. And then we'll make episodes that fit into that frame. So there was framework. That's how you did it back then in television. These guys only have maybe 8 to 10 episodes they have to write, which is half of what was done back in the day. And they can't even do that. And I mean, Gary's absolutely right. Write your ending. It was so flat. It didn't even feel the same. Like, I actually liked the first couple of episodes of season 5. But they were nothing like what they got at the end. The rest of it was just garbage. And the writers in the room talking the duffers out of having Demogorgons and Demobats in the finale was stupid. I was like, where are all these other creatures that are supposed to be there? The other thing is, one of the duffers was big about having big alien eggs and having some other monster that creeped out of that. That would have been cool. That'd have been something. But somebody in the writer's room talked them out of that. What else did somebody in the writer's room talk them into or out of? My goodness, this is your baby. This is your crowning achievement. You're the best thing you've ever done. You've got all this fan support. It's your chance to go out on a bang with a really cool thing and really set you up for life. And you failed miserably. And there were no stakes. It was absolutely shit writing. And I'm so disappointed as a fan, because I was invested all the way up until, episode 5, 6, 7. And then you lost me, and I didn't care. And the finale, yeah, it had a couple good moments, but so what? I'm not going to watch it again. I'm done.
Yep. Yeah, no, well, I feel glad at least that I saw the train wreck coming as far as season 4 went. Doug lost his place. We're going to go ahead and pop him right back where he was. Doug, what do you say, dude? What's your take on this?
Well, my guess is they thought, hey, this idea of just making it up as you go along worked out great for Star Wars and Marvel. Why you know what, it takes time to sit down and write stuff. You know, let's just get the cameras rolling and see what happens. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked
I mean,
so well for
the
Fred
opportunities these people get and they just squander it like that. You know, it's just you assholes. Yeah, they're just complaining. Oh, yeah, we had all these other plans. I know, but more monsters would cut into the screen time for Will's coming out party on the cusp of the apocalypse and all. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I mean, because everybody's going, yeah, well, we know. You know, that's it. I mean, that whole season was just, you just didn't have any material at all, really. Yeah. I mean, it had the templates of nods to 80s stuff and that kind of thing, but you know, that was already tired anyway. So yeah, the show should have ended a couple of seasons ago.
I agree
He didn't have
entirely.
anything else.
Yeah. That's what I saw. I mean, season 4 was so padded. I just lost. I lost a lot of interest. Heather L, any feedback on are you surprised that they didn't have the script finished?
You know, I always wonder, like, is it arrogance or incompetence that makes people do things like this? Like film the biggest season of TV that you'll ever be involved with without a script. What makes you do that? Then I saw the making of Stranger Things, the season 5 documentary that they put out that this came from. I think a lot of it's incompetence. I mean, if season 5 hasn't ruined the Duffer Brothers' career, like for future deals, then this making of documentary really should. Like, it was absolutely maddening and disgusting. Like, I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It was just infuriating that these people get so much money and they have this platform to create shows that's totally undeserved. Like, they're just clueless. It was people sitting there, like, it was kind of like Doug was making fun of, where making fun of Star Wars. We're saying like, oh, should we put Darth Vader in this? They're all sitting around this room, and then one goes, "You think we should have some Demogorgons in this scene? I don't know. Maybe people are tired of Demogorgons. Yeah, maybe they are. I think there's some Demogorgon fatigue. Well, okay, let's not have any." This was really like
Are they all on SSRIs or something? What the
just a
fuck?
conversation. They're all just sitting there like, yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was just ridiculous. And so they
Multi-millions of dollars, folks, for that kind
Yeah.
of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just go, they talk, and well, should someone die here? Oh, I like her. I don't think so.
Oh my God.
It's so awful.
You're not exaggerating this, Heather?
No.
Wow.
You watch this thing, it's just infuriating.
Oh my God. So you really this is really in the documentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Jeez.
If people watch this, like, I can't, the Duffer Brothers should not get any more work. They shouldn't be trusted with anything, because how do you not, like, this is gonna, TV events this big don't happen that often.
Right.
Like, and you just managed to hit on something. You're never going to have something like this in your career again. It's going to be rare for Netflix to ever have something this big again. And you just are kind of like wing it. And they sit around and kind of talk about stuff. And one person makes a suggestion, and they're kind of like, oh, really? They actually had to Chat GPT open where you can see on some parts.
Oh my God.
It's bad. This thing is so bad. Like, I don't know. To me, these guys' careers should be done. I don't know how they managed to write season 1 when you look at this. It's just terrible.
I don't know, man.
Wow.
That's fascinating. That sounds like a god awful confession more than a documentary. That's painful.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wow, holy shit. I mean, we didn't see it because who wants more of this shit? You know, it's like I saw the making of Stranger Things season 5, and I'm like, yeah, right. Like, I guess it actually has some entertainment value in it.
Well, it's infuriating. It does have some, but it's
Wow.
absolutely infuriating to see how they've, they were paid so much money to do this and had such a huge opportunity, and to just kind of blow it off and treat it like, a bunch of college kids sitting around on a school project, just screwing around.
Yeah. And then, the other thing is that you had all this buildup of people saying, "Oh, there's going to be an episode 9. All this was just like a Vecna's plan," and that was total BS.
Well,
Which-
yeah, because the audience was like, "There's got to be something better than this."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh my God, this is it." People couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Osaka Chandal, anything you would like to add?
Well, I knew it was gonna be bad when Millie Bobby Brown had like posted something. I think it was like on Twitter or something, where she's like, "Oh, on the set, but we don't know what we're doing yet," and blah blah blah. I'm like, how can you be on the set and not know what you're doing? Should you have gotten the script beforehand? Like, it seemed weird. But then while watching it, it was just like, okay, I thought the Demogorgons couldn't be in heat, but yet the whole entire planet is a giant desert. And then when they reveal the giant monster at the end, if you actually pause it before it actually shows its face, I'm sorry, it looks like a giant woman's hoo-ha. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's Will's biggest fear. Okay.
Oh.
I wasn't impressed with the last season at all.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I agree. Sean, anything to add on this?
Well, as Winston Zedmore said, that's a big hoo-ha.
It's
No, I'm glad I haven't watched this stuff, but to coin a phrase, it's like they're incorporating a new directing style called crap booking. That's what this is. I'm just glad I haven't watched it, and I'm just gonna stick to season 1 and 2 like you guys have recommended, and then I'll just stop there.
And you'll bail. That's smart. That's very, very smart. Andy, anything to add?
Well, I had ChatGPT make a porn version, and the Demogorgons looked sort of like John Holmes, and the Mind Flayer had Ron Jeremy's head. So much better version.
The one that spits a lot is Peter North.
It did get a little graphic with Robin and the Candy Striper girl, but that was okay. You could put that in slow motion for a little while. I just wish somebody would give Maya Hawke a sandwich. She's starting to look a little bit like Cynthia Erivo has been visiting her in the middle of the night. Yeah, it was clearly like I think there's too many hands in the pie. Gary had pointed out that they added another executive producer to this, and you can definitely tell like the woke female touch to it, where we have to put this and this, and like, oh, forget that story part. You need to put more meaningful points for people's inclusion in here, and that's going to make it much, much better. Well, yeah, that didn't work too well, and it's a shame because, like, I guess the Duffer Brothers are going to be like a one trick pony with the one hit wonder with their one thing, a season 1 of Stranger Things, but they'll have plenty of free time to hang out with Benny Hoff and what's his name from Game of Thrones.
Weiss.
Yeah, Benoff and Weiss. Dumb and Dumber, they call them.
Yep.
No, I think that's true, Andy, and I think they've squandered a rare opportunity that a lot of creatives would kill for, and yeah, that they ain't coming back again no more. I don't think.
hundreds
We'll
of
see.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
and millions of disappointed viewers.
Mhm.
Hundreds of millions of disappointed viewers.
Probably.
Well,
true.
One for every dollar, I'm sure.
I was
You know
gonna
what?
say the only good thing. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I'm sorry. No, you started.
Well, I was gonna say the only good thing out of this is it may have woken up some normies as to how bad the woke crap has gotten. So
That would be good. That would be good.
Did anybody hear Elon Musk's statement that within the year, AI is going to increase in effectiveness or quality by tenfold within the year?
Wow.
That's great. That means that we can just have Doomcock take our likeness and we don't ever have to be here again on Wednesday. He can program everything that we're saying right now.
Yeah. Oh, that'll just be swell.
What do you think, Gary?
Yeah.
Hey, it sucked.
You really want Doomcock putting words in your mouth?
I think the question was how many fingers will we have?
Just 3. It saves on processing power. Yeah, one.
Yeah, I've got one for the heads of these studios.
Yeah.
The
I
one
got
little
2,
thing,
one for each hand.
yeah. The one little thing I was going to add, and it was to what Heather was saying with that documentary. The really frustrating thing is that they say this stuff, and nobody in power sees a problem with that. No one seems to think that that's an issue. That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching the behind the scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark with Steven Spielberg, and he had the whole movie storyboarded on the cards, not even the big ones, but the whole thing. And he goes through like picture by picture what happens, even the shots and the pacing.
Yeah.
He
drew the fucking storyboards,
Yeah.
and then he had Joe Johnston draw storyboards of his storyboards.
Right. The
So
whole movie
everybody's looking at the wall, and you can see the movie from start to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
In extreme detail. The whole thing.
Yeah, and what did Lucas do with Star Wars? They spliced together films to say this is what we want it to look like.
Right.
The battle footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been planned.
Yeah. So be sitting there like on the last episode going, oh, what should we do? It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, having a storyboard is an incredible aid to a director, because I mean, you can just, okay, look at this. This is what I'm thinking for this angle. And like the cinematographer can see it, the cameraman can see it, the actors can see it, and everybody's on the same page. You can still deviate and get your coverage, but you've at least got the core. Hitchcock wouldn't even shoot coverage because he didn't want the studio to be able to re-edit his movie. So he would, by God, shoot the storyboard and nothing but the fucking storyboard, because that was how he wanted the film. They don't do that anymore, sadly.
Right. Well, it's the medium is a rectangular square.
Mm-hmm.
And when you frame that out, you have a clear plan of what it is to do. And the absolute arrogance of filmmakers now think that everything is so easy for them to do. They can even have ChatGPT generate a frame, but they won't do it. It's so ironic. Like, Joe Johnston used to hand draw all those little Star Wars, storyboards. And he would take the chicken scratch bullshit ones that Steven Spielberg would do. He was a shitty artist, but at least he drew them out.
Yeah.
These guys won't even bother to have AI do it. They're like, oh, we don't know what we're doing.
Yep. Well, hooray for Hollywood. Hooray for Hollywood. That's what.
Well, the good news is they've got a spinoff on the way. Oh boy. And the Duffer Brothers are moving over to Paramount. That'll work out great unless Paramount watches Netflix. They might want to talk to Benioff and Weiss about that situation, about jumping ship, But other than that, oh boy, hope springs eternal.
And speaking of, oh boy, I have understood, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Paramount is going to release Starfleet Academy, the first episode, on YouTube for free.
That's tonight, isn't it?
I thought it was tomorrow, but
I think at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, something like that. Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's great.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I'm watching it. I'll let you know.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't wait, to be honest. I really can't.
It's going to be so okay. Well, we'll see.
You don't know. It could be the awesomest fucking thing ever.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm really. Yeah.
I promise I'll be fair and
that's a
non-biased.
That's a possibility. Sure it is. Sure it is. The only question is, will it be even worse than Star Trek Discovery? Is that even possible? Maybe.
Yes. Oh,
Maybe.
yes, it is.
I think they can do it.
Possible, and I am looking forward to watching it.
Like that old song goes, "We did it before, and we can do it again."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just interested in what kitchen utensils that they're going to fit into a starship. So
Anything you can shit, I can shit more. All right, let's I tell you what, let's like blow this out of our mouthpieces here and get to something good that we like. But first, we got a few super chats to get to. Let's do them. All right, folks, there we go. We have got super chats. Super chats, mofo. Exactly, Harvey. Exactly. Let's go ahead and get to them. Darth Maul's lower half has been a channel member for 6 months. Hail to you, Darth Maul's lower half. He's a Dumentite. I always wonder what happened, but how does he type? How does Darth Maul's lower half type? It's an interesting idea. He says all that stays meaningless unless they decanonize the sequel trilogy in terms of going back, putting Darth Vader and Luke and Han and Leia in, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. He says all that stays meaningless unless they decanonize the sequel trilogy. Will they change the dish of the Falcon to original trilogy specs? I guess not. Yeah, well, one would hope, but you're absolutely right. I mean, as long as like Luke still throws away his lightsaber and as long as, Rey takes his name and, it's all the Palpatine saga, not the Skywalker saga. Well, that's a squirt of piss in the bucket. I mean, this thing is pretty much dead and worthless. I mean, if they do not decanonize the sequel trilogy, then all is lost. Because if that's where it leads to, you might as well just give up right then and there. Scott V with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Scott V says, hail Doomcock and panel. I hope everyone is having a good new year. Season 2 of Monarch trailer looks good. The only thing I have to look forward to, live long and prosper. Oh, Scott V. Poor Scott V. He's the only thing he's got to look forward to is Monarch season 2. Well, if you're watching Monarch, isn't that on Apple TV? I think that's on Apple TV. In which case I would ask, are you watching Slow Horses? Did you watch Severance? There's a lot of great shows on Apple TV that people should check out. Absolutely. Scott V, don't sell yourself short, buddy. I think there's still some good stuff out there, especially if you're watching Monarch. Kurt James with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt. He says, Doug nailed it. The greatest tragedy of the Disney crap is exactly that. They passed on the cantina scene reunion of Han, Luke, and Leia. Throw in Chewie and I would have been ecstatic, but they shit on us. Yep, that's it. That is absolutely it. And the reason for that is Jar Jar Abrams, the cinematic Antichrist, the one responsible for Lost, oddly enough. Funny how those things go. Hail to you, Kurt James. Thank you for that $10 super chat, brother. We really appreciate it. And Hemorrhoid Hurts is back. Hey, Hemorrhoid Hurts. It's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you doing, man? Hemorrhoid Hurts with a $2 Australian super chat says, I'm with Doug. There is no bypassing the compressor. Amen. Hail to you, Hemorrhoid Hurts. It's been so long. It's great to see you, my friend. It's nice to see you when people find their way through this banished country of YouTube where they cast us aside and return home. It's fantastic. Hail to you, Hemorrhoid Hurts. It's great to see you. And Jack White with a $10 super chat and 2 $5 super chats. Hail to you, Jack White, anime and manga expert. God bless you, brother. He says, my lord, I just sent you an email with links to purchase manga omnibuses for Dragon Ball, One Piece, Fairy Tail, Tokyo Revengers, Shaman King, Bleach, Rurouni Kenshin, Gantz, Naruto, and Full Metal Alchemist. Fantastic, dude. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very, very much. And Jack White says with a $5 super chat, my lord, I just sent you an email with a link to some more good news to cover on tonight's show for a couple of minutes. Well, I I'm not sure I can access that right now, Jack. I'll take a look at it and see if I can. It's on an entirely different system, but I'll take a look and see if I can pull that up, brother. And then Jack White says, another with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jack. He says, to save CNN, they need to fire the entire old guard there and give Robert Barnes and Viva Frey and Razor Fist shows on it. What about moi? I should be their entertainment editor, shouldn't I? Hail to you, Jack White. Good ideas, though. Those are good and worthy cast members. Michael Beacom with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Michael. It's great to see you, buddy. He says, regarding movies in theaters, when we started doing film events in 1993, you would rent actual celluloid prints. In the digital age, actual theatrical releases are just 2K, so 4K discs scale up. Wow. Really? So these days, when you're going to see a digital projection, you're telling me that they're just 2K? That can't be right, can it? Is that true, Michael Beacom? Let me know in the chat. Is that what you mean? Am I getting you correctly? Are you saying some are the ones that you rent, or are you saying Michael Beacom is saying they're all just 2K? So they wow. I find that astonishing. Wow. My brain is kind of blown. And again, Super Mastermind, I want to thank you for the $5 super chat saying again, biggest news, Hulu will not automatically roll into Disney Plus. They will probably lose 50% to Netflix. Hulu costs tens of billions. That is interesting. That is interesting. Hail to you, Super Mastermind. I'm going to have to look into that because I had not heard that. I had not heard that until just now. That's really, really interesting. Saul Shymek has been an arch villain for 53 months now. Hail to you, Saul Shymek. He says, I've noticed that drive-in theaters have been creeping back in. We've got the Quasar drive-in in Omaha. This might be a way to support theaters once again. The drive-in movie experience. Gosh, a lot of people have never experienced that. And I really, God, I've only experienced it like once or twice in my adult life. There aren't a lot of them around, you know. It's a fascinating thing. I think I went once or twice, maybe when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it very well. But that's good news. That's interesting. Angry Yeti TV, who is also an arch villain of mine, with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Angry Yeti TV, says, given the creation of Netflix House, a location in Dallas, I suspect Netflix may have plans to build theaters or some kind of substitute too. Unlike Hollywood, Netflix actually knows how to innovate. See, now that's interesting. You know, if you had a reasonable number of Netflix theaters that projected Netflix content, if you had the most compelling Netflix content, like a series that's really hot, like Stranger Things or something, you could show it on Netflix, but for people that wanted to see it with an audience, wanted to pay extra money to go, you could have screenings of, things like Stranger Things or better things, hopefully. And still, they can watch it at home, or they can go out to a Netflix giant screen and watch it with fans. It's be digital projection, content you've already paid for. If you're Netflix, the downside of it would be fairly minimal. It'd be interesting experiment. I think that a lot of people might actually go in for the most popular shows on that service. Interesting. Thank you, Angry Yeti TV. Grind Gear 13 with a $10 Canadian super chat. Hail to Grind Gear 13. Thank you, my friend. You've been a channel member for at least 2 years now. It says, I have to say, some very good but cautious news for geeks and nerds everywhere. Yes, it seems like they're finally coming around. It may be a little late. It may be that the damage is too extensive, but better late than never. That's kind of my feeling about it. I'm feeling a little bit of optimism. It's strange, isn't it? It's weird. London 19657 has gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Hail to you, London 19657. We really appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for adding to our membership rolls. And Jeff C with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Jeff. He says, hi, Doomcock and panel. All I have to say for today is rest in peace to Dilbert creator Scott Adams. Yeah, Dilbert was a strip I read. A lot of people really enjoyed that, especially those stuck in the office grind, the corporate culture that they so ably parodied. God bless you, Scott Adams, and rest in peace, man. You created something that well, it was an icon of its day, and a lot of people will always remember those strips. All right, and Jack White with a $10 super chat, and two $5 super chats, which really make one big super chat. So I'm going to go ahead and read this now. Thank you, Jack White. I think you're a producer tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Jack White says most of the activists working in Hollywood are either so narcissistic or indoctrinated that they will never admit their worldview is wrong, especially the ones in their 40s and older, because no one wants to admit they've wasted most of their life on pursuing a world future of whatever that was, based on complete BS and lies. As the old saying goes, it's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. And that is the crux of the thing, man. That is the crux of the thing, because people become invested in perpetuating and pursuing and doubling down on bullshit, on lies, on things that are embarrassing. And we can't make any progress because of just stupid pride. That is a shame. That I would love to see stop eventually. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get to our movie of the week, shall we? Movies we love, folks. Movies. All right, folks, and this movie that we love this week is the classic movie Goodfellas. This is a masterpiece, folks. This is a really good one. Great gangster film. It's a hell of a piece. Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci, of course, became a legend in this one. There's a lot to love about it. Gary Ambrosia, have you come up with some great notes for us tonight?
I have. There was a lot of notes for this movie, so I left out the obvious ones, and I found some more interesting ones that I didn't even know.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah, all right, here we go, guys. Goodfellas. Ah, the charm and prestige, the sense of family and camaraderie, the values of honor and practice of extreme moral conduct as reflected in the life of the Italian gangster. Starring that dude from Cocaine Bear, that guy who put on 60 pounds to play a boxer, the guy who fucked his wife, and the entire cast of The Sopranos.
All right.
Nominated for 6 Academy Awards, winning 1, produced on a $25 million budget, and bringing in $47 million during its worldwide theatrical release. While shooting The Color of Money in Chicago, Martin Scorsese and producer Barbara DeFina came across an article in a local paper with an excerpt from Nicholas Pileggi's book, Wise Guy. Having moved on from gangster pictures, Scorsese, what did I write here? Scorsese, he didn't want to revisit that genre, and he felt that he had done all he could with those types of movies. After reading the book selection in the published article, he was struck by its attention to extreme detail and the depiction of gangster lifestyle as told by one in a sort of matter-of-fact method. At one point, Godfather star and holder of a lifetime supply of Doritos, Marlon Brando, tried to dissuade Scorsese from making the film. Nevertheless, he persisted. After a phone call from Martin to author Nicholas Pileggi, the two made a handshake deal to begin writing the screenplay with the intention of producing the film. For the first time since Mean Streets, Scorsese would put his name in for writing credit, and he and Pileggi would work together in writing the script. The title was changed from Wise Guy to Goodfellas in order to avoid confusion with the TV series of the same name created by Stephen J. Cannell and the Brian De Palma film of the same name starring Danny DeVito and Joe Piscopo. God, don't you hate it when you're writing notes and this autocorrect bullshit just like changes things?
I hate it, man.
Can't
It
stand
happens
that,
all the
man.
time.
Boy,
All
it
the fucking time.
really screws me up. I guess I should proofread. It's my fault. Originally offered the role of Jimmy the Gent, Conway was CSI's William Peterson. However, he turned it down. It was also offered to Al Pacino, who also turned it down as to avoid typecasting, and later that year chose to play Big Boy Caprice in Dick Tracy. Nice avoiding. At one point, John Malkovich was actually considered for the role as well. Eventually, the usual suspects were cast in their obvious roles. However, for Ray Liotta, this would be his first big starring role. Originally, Spicoli himself, Sean Penn, had been considered for the role, along with Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, and John Travolta. Alec Baldwin did audition for the part, but for the first time in his life, he missed the mark. It was at the Venice Film Festival, which Liotta and Scorsese were both attending, that Ray approached Scorsese to discuss his casting for Goodfellas. At the time, Scorsese was being protected by several bodyguards due to the threats he had received from various religious groups over his controversial film, The Last Temptation of Christ. Scorsese remarked how calm Liotta was while being strong-armed and pushed back by his private security, and that's when he decided that he was the right man for the job. After being offered the part, Liotta was given cassette tapes from Nicholas Pileggi, which were recordings of Henry Hill telling Pileggi the story of the book in great detail. Liotta would listen to these tapes on the drive from New Jersey to New York as part of his research and preparation for the role. For Henry's narration of the film, Liotta struggled a bit to convey his character in a sound booth, so he opted to sit down in front of the sound guy and tell the entire story to him, just as Henry told his story to Nicholas Pileggi. Ray Liotta turned down the role of Harvey Dent in Tim Burton's Batman to star in Goodfellas. Liotta claims that as he was the new kid on the block, Robert De Niro and daughter of Frank Sinatra, Tina, placed a fake horse head in his trailer on the first day of shooting. In addition to the support of Nick Pileggi on set as an advisor, Henry Hill himself became a part of the production as a consultant, for which he was paid over $500,000.
Wow.
The cast were given access to the entirety of Pileggi's research material, including notes and stories that were left out of the book. According to Henry Hill, Robert De Niro would call him every day, sometimes 4 to 5 times a day, asking how his character Jimmy would hold his cigarette, how he would approach and talk to certain characters, even how he got ketchup out of a bottle, to the point where Henry thought that the actor was crazy. Which he was right. Hill claims that because of his frequent incoming calls from De Niro and Scorsese, his phone bill jumped up to $4,000 a month, which the production covered. Hill also recalls that De Niro actually called him during the birth of his child and claims, "I'm telling Bobby how to pistol whip a guy's head at the same time my new kid's head is popping out." Unlike his co-star, Joe Pesci describes his approach to Tommy as follows. "People ask if I want to, if I know the real Tommy de Simone. I know a lot about him. I read, and I talked to people, but I didn't take that stuff to the film with me. Now, Bob De Niro will find out everything about his characters and take those traits and little things with him, and it would start to feel like that for him. Which is what I do is I think of somebody that I know very well, who is the same type, and I play him. I do my Tommy Simone. I do Joe Pesci as if I were this killer, this crazy, funny, wisecracking person. I can draw on my temper because it's terrible. My father had a terrible one. My brother and I have it too. Not many know this, Oh wait, that's not Joe Pesci's accent. Not many know this, but Frank Vincent, who plays Billy Bats, and Joe Pesci were a comedy duo team in the 1970s called Vincent and Pesci. They would
Wow.
travel around and perform a vaudeville-style comedy act at different nightclubs and lounges in New Jersey. In 1991, Joe Pesci won the Academy Award for his performance in Goodfellas. He really was a funny guy.
Dude, good impression, by the way. Good impression.
Thank you. Well, no,
Funny
that wasn't
how.
actually an impression. I had Pesci come in for a second and read this.
Ah, okay.
So,
Okay.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, fuck you. Frank Vincent was originally requested to play Paul Cicero. However, he was given the role of Billy Bats instead. Paul Sorvino admits he struggled with the role of Paulie, unsure of his own ability to display the authority of the character, and continued to doubt his own abilities until one day, when checking food in his teeth after a meal, he saw a look he was giving in the mirror, which he admits frightened him, and finally found the character and the confidence to play him. According to the cast, the rehearsals were primarily improvised. Joe Pesci stated that Scorsese frequently told him, "Don't act like these people, behave like them." I guess the look that Paul Sorvino gives in the movie, it's the scene, I think it's the very first scene when we see him in slow motion. He's sitting in the backyard and he's eating.
Mhm.
That's the look that he said he saw in the mirror, and he's like, okay, that's how I have to play it. He completely doubted himself until he saw that, and he said, okay, that's the guy right there.
Wow.
Interesting. Very interesting. Cinematographer Michael Ballhaus states that most of the scenes were not covered with close-ups, but shot in wide, long takes, and sometimes all in a single take. The What's So Funny About Me scene was filmed intentionally in wide angles. First, because Scorsese already knew the intensity of the scene through Pesci's performance. And secondly, so that the surrounding characters could be seen and their mood change when Pesci goes from having a good time to being pissed off. A single line of narration in the novel Wise Guy, which depicts Henry and Karen arriving at the Copacabana Club, turned into a Steadicam single take that goes from the outside street through the service entrance to the club, passing the staff while Henry hands out cash, and doors are open to them, to a private table being set up, and they are greeted by the manager. This shot took 7 takes to get right, one of which was ruined by Henny Youngman, who apparently, after a perfect shot, forgot his lines. Ballhaus had to leave the production before wrapping, leaving the cinematography work on the final 2 weeks of shooting to future Addams Family and Men in Black director Barry Sonnenfeld.
Wow.
Every song used in the film was personally selected by Scorsese during the writing of the script. 43 tracks in total are used in the film, which many were left off of the soundtrack due to the fact that it would require it to consist of 4 separate albums or cassettes. He would write notations on Pileggi's typed draft as to which track he wanted and was very particular about his decisions. For the scene in which Henry first witnesses someone being shot outside the butcher shop, Scorsese chose Firenze Sogna by Giuseppe Di Stefano because the first time he had heard that song, he was in a butcher shop with his mother.
Huh.
The reveal of the Lufthansa heist cleanup, let's see, I guess that they used Layla by Derek and the Dominoes was used, and the track was played on set so that certain shots could follow the beats of the track. Originally, it was Frank Sinatra's My Way, which was intended to use at the end of the film. However, Sinatra would not allow the use of his track in Goodfellas. Sid Vicious's rendition of the classic track was used in its place. Much better selection, I think, for that part of the movie. Apparently, Robert De Niro insisted on using real cash in any scene where Jimmy was throwing it around. This made property master Bob Griffin nervous, not only because the cash that was used was a $5,000 withdrawal from his own personal bank account, but also because the production had employed legitimate criminals on set. Apparently, these individuals who were hired by Warner Brothers gave the payroll department phony social security numbers, and to this day, no one can explain how they got paid.
Wow.
Jeez.
Despite the improvisational nature of the rehearsals, the only scene in the film that was truly 100% improvised on screen is the scene where Henry, Jimmy, and Tommy visit Tommy's mother, who is played by Catherine Scorsese, Martin's actual mother. The famous funny guy scene was written out of an improv rehearsal and transcribed directly onto the page in the script. The painting in this scene, the painting in the scene with the mother, which is this in the story, was made by Tommy's mother, was actually painted in real life by wise guy author Nicholas Pileggi.
Huh.
My final note, Nicholas Pileggi's wife had witnessed almost the entirety of the conversations between Henry Hill and her husband, and she was inspired to write her own screenplay based on a gangster who was relocated to the witness protection program. Pileggi's wife is Nora Ephron, and the movie that was produced from her script was My Blue Heaven, starring Steve Martin and Rick Moranis.
That's a funny movie.
Oh, cool.
So there was a ton more notes, but we can't take forever. So, yeah, this movie, this to me is the best one. I really like Mean Streets. I think Mean Streets is really good. It's kind of like Scorsese's Reservoir Dogs, but this to me is the best gangster movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's just it's. There's something about all the little details that are carved out, and it I didn't know that a lot of the movie was the script was rewritten by the actors. They would go and they would rehearse, but they would rehearse improv, and they would record the improv, they would translate it and rewrite it, and then the actors would go back and play their improv. So a lot of this movie is very kind of made up apparently they had Henry Hill there the whole time. Nicholas Pileggi was there. They had hired some other guys. They hired, I guess there's like a U.S. district attorney that plays himself in the movie. He was really there, who worked on these cases. They had all kinds of consultants, and they brought all these guys in, and that's how they made the movie. And I didn't know that. But it's not only that that makes the movie like magically transist well, but it's the editing and the process of telling the story, how it kind of starts off in the middle with the Billy Bats thing, and then it goes back to the beginning and tells the story again. It's really sharp, and unlike Casino, for me, Casino's too fucking depressing. It's too depressing for me. This movie, it hits that fine line where it is completely realistic, and Henry Hill was saying this is pretty much the way that was, but it was still cinematic in a way to where you could really enjoy it. That's what I like about this movie. Is very, very, very well done movie. And I laughed my ass off at it. It's there's horrible shit that goes on in this movie, but I still find myself laughing at it.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that, even when they kill Billy Bats, I'm laughing. Like when they're driving and you hear the fucking thumping around in the trunk, and they're like, what the fuck is that? Oh man. And they know he's still alive, and they just open the trunk and fucking Pesci fucking stabs his shit. And when they're digging him up, and you can like, oh my god, they smell him, and he's like, oh, here's a leg, here's a wing, and they're throwing like parts of him around and shit. Oh, it's very dark humor. But yeah, I really like this movie. It's very well done. You don't see performances like this. People are too scared to perform like this. People are not prepared actors are not prepared to do this kind of work anymore. And we don't see this kind of thing anymore. And this sucks, man, because this is good. This is a good film, made for cheap too. It's a $25 million film, which back in 1990 was probably like what, 75 million. So
Yeah.
really not an expensive movie. And all it takes is talent.
No, that's right. And it's interesting.
Talent and hard
say
work,
that. No, yeah. It's interesting that's your favorite mob movie,
Oh yeah, sure. I can't think of another one I like better than this.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'm not a fan of The Godfather. It's okay. It's a good movie. I appreciate it. I know I'm smart enough to understand it's a great film. I'm not personally, I don't particularly like it very much. I know it's great, but this one to me is my favorite.
Yeah, well,
movie. It's my favorite.
It's like Godfather 2 to me.
Yeah, they're great.
Are kind of like, well, they're two different eras.
Right.
Like that's kind of the grand era. It feels operatic. It feels big. This one feels like more like modern in the 90s as opposed to the 60s or 50s.
Yeah.
mob. Like they degenerated. They became more, I don't know.
This is more the
Small,
story of
petty.
like the
Yeah,
thugs that were
yeah.
hired for the
Right.
mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The Godfather is really a story about the mob. These guys were like guys that
Yeah,
worked for the mob. You
right.
know what I mean? If you think about it, like they're just a bunch of crooks, right? I mean, Paulie's the only real made guy in the movie, apart from a couple other guys. But the main characters work for these guys.
Mhm.
And then Tommy's supposed to be made, and then but
Yeah, no, so I guess it just depends on the nature of it. That if you like that kind of old school versus modern, more raw, gangster stuff. And I'm gonna have to look at it and kind of maybe reappraise that. That's it. The more I think about it, I'm like, well, dude, I think you've got a good point here.
And it's, I mean, I hate to say it in a sick way. It is fun. It's a fun movie
Yeah,
to watch.
it is.
I mean, it's a really fucking sick thing to say, but it is entertaining.
Absolutely.
See, Doug knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, Doug, I know you've got to go in 10 minutes, so let's give you your turn. What do you think about the movie?
Well, I pretty much agree with everything Gary said. I mean, maybe I have more appreciation for Godfather than he does. I mean, but I just see them as almost two different genres or takes on the same subject, so to speak. I mean, Godfather is more the Shakespearean approach, like you said, opera and stuff like that. Where this is the blue collar mobs,
Right.
And the guys who had
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in the mob.
Then, of course, you learn a lot of lessons. If you walk into a room and there's plastic sheets on the floor, it's not going to be a good day. And don't mention the shine box. And if someone does, maybe just not, you can't get over it. No? Okay, well, that'll come back to haunt you. But it's one of those movies where everything is going and it's on fire and it's on all cylinders and all that. And it just delivers on so many levels. And it's something like that, it really spoils you for later efforts, But I get, he's got a strong point that this is certainly for Scorsese, it's his best mob movie. I mean, it just delivers on so many different levels and stuff like that. And just, as everybody says the line, Karen, we needed that.
Must know where that term came from. They would have never found it, Karen.
And then when he's beating the crap out of the neighbor, I gotta admit, turn me on. And of course, yes, they're terrible people. This is gruesome stuff they're involved in. And, oh man, were they funny doing it? It's like if you get chuckles in horror movies, you understand.
When he fucking smashes that guy's the owner of the club's head with the champagne bottle. Rick asked me to christen his kid. Oh God. So funny.
Oh jeez. So this is one of the all-time best. I can't praise it enough. It's Goodfellas. They're not Goodfellas. They're fellas. But it's a very good movie. Yes.
No, man, it is a great one. I just hadn't thought of it in relation to The Godfather, but you know what? I need to see it again in light of that, because it's it's one I've accepted many years. I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
I think I should look at that. Doug, you got to go. You want to go ahead and plug your channel and your many entertainment concerns?
Okay. The channel is the Nelson Ratings, where I talk about stuff like we talked about here. So there's more of that there, just from me. Yeah. There's also a podcast called The Mr. Nelson Show from RadioMisfits.com or wherever you get your podcast. And oh yes, it's me talking about stuff again. And but also I do these audio plays. And notably, one of them is called Night Night, which just by a staggering coincidence, I've also done a comic book version of. Oh my goodness, look, Rob will show you. And you head over to indieplanet.com and you look up Night Night, and oh my goodness, you'll be as happy as Rob. Look at that face. That's what happiness looks like. Yes. And you can be as happy as Rob when you get your copies of Night Night. So don't delay. Order yours today.
Thank you very much, Doug Nelson. We appreciate you, buddy. And thanks for joining us here tonight. And yeah, great job, man. Great job. We appreciate you and hope to see you next week.
All right.
And there are links to your various concerns being posted by the wrenches in the channel, even as we speak.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
God bless you, Doug. Thank you for being here tonight.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Hail, Doug.
Thanks,
See you,
brother.
Doug. Later,
See you,
man.
Doug.
See you, Doug.
Also want to send a shout out to Osaka Chandal. She had to go. I did not realize that she was heading out. I guess she had to go while I was doing the super chats. But Osaka, love you. And people, please do subscribe to Osaka Chandal's channel. The wrenches will go ahead and pop a link in there as well. And Alan Plant says, do you have any news of what happened with Mexican Iron Man? He hasn't shown up on PCB for weeks. Yeah, well, he's taking some time to be with his family. He's been very busy, tax season and all that. He's just a really busy guy, but nothing is wrong. And we miss him. And gosh, he can return any time he wants to. So hail to you, Alain Plant. And thank you for the question. Ezra Goldstein, good to see you as well. Doug, God bless you, Doug. And Rob, what do you think?
This movie's very, very interesting. There are lots of things to like about it. It's mobster movies are kind of like watching a train wreck. You know that something bad is coming, but you can't take your eyes off of it, and you're always curious, even if you've seen it a dozen times. And what I love about this movie is, first off, it starts out with them going and breaking the fourth wall right away, and you realize that, okay, we're going to follow this one character in his story. And you start to follow his character, and he has little pauses, which tells you more about the movies or the situations or what you're going to see in the movie. And I like that. I like that the way that they did that. I also like how they broke the fourth wall with his wife and some of her inner feelings, for her inner monologues as well. I think they make the story unique and interesting and add a little bit of flavor to all of these different scenes that you get with them doing their various nefarious things. So I thought that was really, really cool. I love the music in here. That Scorsese tried to use music of the time, more contemporary stuff. There's not really a score, but there's all these music from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and into a little bit of early 80s in it, which I just love. But the story is kind of interesting. You sit there and you're like, okay, what's going to happen with this character? What's going to happen with that character? And then they bring in these side characters that you're interested in as well. And it just shows how good an ensemble cast that they had and how great the individual actors that they had. Gary, I had no idea that they did a lot of their own kind of came up with some of their own lines or did it a certain way and then filmed it that way. That's awesome. I can't believe that. But
yeah, that's primarily how the script was written.
Yeah, the improv in it is just shows how great a cast you had and how well they work together. Because you can't do that kind of improv. I mean, sure, you can have a guy improv a line or two, but like if you're going to improv that much, you got to have your whole cast working together as a team. And I love that. And
it comes from the character work, and it comes from them just asking Henry Hill 10,000 questions. I mean, even that weird way that I don't know if you guys noticed when Robert De Niro's putting ketchup on the food, he like sort of spins the bottle like this, and that's how the ketchup comes out. I've never even seen that. I've never seen anybody do that.
No,
but he asked Henry Hill. He's like, he kept calling him all the time. He's like, "Hey, how does this guy put ketchup on his food?" Like, you know, like that, you know, okay. So he just did that. And it's interesting. It's an interesting little thing. I've never seen anybody do that.
But I mean, it just shows how important the art of acting really is. It's not just this BS stuff. And you know, they were playing real life people, and they wanted to, you know, portray them in a realistic way. And I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
And it's what we don't have today. We don't have that kind of acting, that kind of
right.
detail.
There's a fear to commit to that because it hurts. It's pain. It's suffering. It really is. And then, you know, you have people who are hurt and offended by what you're doing on set, even though you're just fucking acting. You know what I mean? Like these weirdos would experience trauma based on some, you know, silly little thing that was just in performance, and they're not mature enough to understand that that's part of the work. You know, it really, like, real acting used to really be suffering and pain. It sucks to put yourself through a complete, like a traumatic experience and then have to start over and do it again because they need another take.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is. Well, these actors these days, they don't understand that what they're doing is not representing. They're pretending.
Yeah. And either that or they're serving some fucking narrative. They're not even working from a character. They've already made a judgment on it. They're already ordering the audience to feel a certain way. Most actors, when they pick a character, they're gonna do what the character thinks is right. They're not making the judgment on what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's the opposite nowadays. But I mean, you know, Henry Hill thinks he's doing the right thing in the movie. Jimmy Conway thinks that he's a good guy and doing the right thing in the movie.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Tommy DeVito thinks that he's a good guy and doing the right thing in the movie. Nobody thinks he's a bad guy. But, you know, that's not even understood by writers or performers these days.
Right. I mean, even when Richard III and, you know, Shakespeare says, you know, that I'm a villain, but he's saying it ironically. He still believes in what he's doing. You know, he may go ahead and wink to the audience. Well, this is considered villainy, but there's reasons. There's always reasons why people are doing what they're doing.
Yes. Yes.
And you can't just like twirl your mustache and, you know, I'm just going to be, you know, well, why are you doing that? And that's the difference.
Everybody has a point of view, and the villain's point of view, he believes that he's doing the right thing.
Right.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Well, and even Ray Liotta in the scenes where he's not outspoken character, he's kind of quiet and he's observing. You can tell that there's an intensity to him and something to his face. And there's something more to that in his acting skill. He's
really experiencing something. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, people think that it's like it's this magical ability. No, all it is just you have to just be willing to experience this horrible trauma that whatever this person is going through. And if you don't know it, you have to bring your own personal trauma and experience that, because the audience is going to watch you experience your own trauma. They're not going to know the difference between the two, but they're going to see something's happening to you. That's the intensity you're describing right there.
Exactly correct. Exactly correct. Bring your own sense memories, bring your own emotions, your own pain.
Bring yourself closer to the character. You can bring the character a little closer to you, but I mean, most of the time you got to bring yourself closer to the character.
Exactly.
And it sucks. It fucking sucks.
It can.
You know, like,
it can. Traumatic. Man, a movie where you are like, you know, miserable and depressed the whole film and traumatized can be just a grueling experience. Cause I mean, you're not just doing it for 2 hours, you're doing it all fucking month. And it's just like, geez, it's a painful thing.
Yeah.
Heather L, what do you think of Goodfellas?
Yeah, I think this is a great movie too. I agree. It's a masterpiece. So well written. It's just completely engaging, and it sucks you right into that world. Kind of like Rob was saying, right, with how they start off with this character who's kind of leading you through it and telling you, it's like he's telling you the story and inviting you into his world. That, I think, combined with what Gary was saying about the camera work, like how it's following him in spots and like the wide angle instead of going back and forth between like the people who are talking, it's giving you this whole scene and you kind of feel like you're a fly on the wall. Like you've gotten into this world and you kind of just get a sneak peek into what they're doing and what their lives are like. And I don't know if it's accurate to what happened or the people, but it just feels authentic when you're seeing it. They don't glamorize it for like you, the viewer. You see these guys as they actually are, which is just violent thugs.
Mhm.
But somehow they manage to like show you, like glamorize it through their eyes, through the character's eyes. And you can like understand how this life was so appealing to them, right? Like not just the money, but the style, the respect they got in the neighborhood, the access they had to everything. And you felt like, part of this family. Part you understood how they were such close friends. They treated each other like family. And so you understand the movie does such a great job of getting you to understand how they could be so desensitized to violence, where they could just kill people and not even like blink an eye, but be so bonded to each other and like so upset when something is happening to their family, their friends. I thought that was hard, had to be hard to do, because it could come off as just like, these guys are just animals, and then they're close to their family. So I think it had to be tough to get that balance in there. It was really well done. The pacing is great. I mean, it's such a long movie and I never got bored or felt like it dragged anywhere. Obviously the performances are fantastic. Like Robert De Niro was just awesome back then. Joe Pesci, he's just hilarious. And yeah, Ray Liotta, the whole cast is just great. They have so much charisma that they can make you like these characters, like these guys, even though they're horrible people, which is part of it, which I think is part of why you can kind of laugh at it, is they've made you kind of almost feel bonded to them in a way. Yeah, you can kind of see how they like an inspiration for The Sopranos in here too, why that was done later. But yeah, this was great. It's just, it was a 10 out of 10 for me, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different value system, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a different kind of set of ethics, but they do have a set of ethics. That's why, you got a made man, you got a stand-up guy, a guy who does his time like a man, a guy who doesn't, sell out his, capo or, his boss or his buddies, even though they're monsters, they're fucking monsters, but it is the differing points of view, as Gary and I were talking about. Every actor knows this. And every great writer knows it as well. And there's some great, I mean, it was improv, but I mean, the structure was there. Scorsese being the author of the film, by the, auteur theory, he guides it in. All his films are kind of like that. Taxi Driver is maybe my favorite Scorsese film of all time. I love Taxi Driver so much. God, I really love that thing.
Yeah.
I'm God's lonely man. It's just a fucking great film. We ever do we did Taxi Driver.
No, we haven't.
No.
Oh, you're kidding. Surely we did
one.
Taxi Driver.
Nope, that's a good one.
Jesus.
No.
That's a great film. One of my favorites. Sean, anything you've got to say about Goodfellas?
Yeah, I need to go. I don't have my hat. I need my lucky hat. I won't stream without it. I hated her. She was, that character was so, I mean, I hated her in a good way. I mean, I did not like the character. She made me hate it. Such a good movie. And it is hard to compare this to The Godfather because, and it's in the name, The Godfather is about the C-suite. It's about the CEO. Goodfellas is about the guys down in payroll.
Right. Yeah, that's
completely
great.
different parts of the mob.
Yeah.
And so yeah, both are great, but I love Goodfellas. There's just so many quotable lines. And I do love Casino too. I've watched that a million times. I know it's dark and depressing, but there's just something so gritty about that one. But Goodfellas is the classic one. I watched this tons of times with my dad growing up, and every time I see it now, I just sit and watch it. It's one of those that whenever it's on, you're going to stop what you're doing and you're just going to watch it, even though you can say the script, word for word practically, and I love the ending, that the last line of the movie, he goes, "Now I get to live the rest of my life like a schnook." Like I had never heard the word schnook, but you understand what it means. You don't need a definition and no. So, yeah, really good. I can't say much more about it than everyone else has, but thank you, Gary, for the notes. It was really interesting to hear those things I didn't know. I had no idea that this script was kind of written on the fly, and it kind of goes to our discussion earlier where, you know, they're scrapbooking these movies together without a plan, but at least there were, like you said, DC, there was structure here. The scenes were planned, the events, what was happening were planned. And they got to play in that little sandbox, and we got an incredible movie out of it.
Yeah, well, Scorsese's got such a strong directorial voice that you know, even like with a improv script, he's still going to guide it, and it's going to be a Scorsese film. You know, that's part of the genius of him. I mean, God, I think the guy is astonishing, and there aren't a lot of movies that he did that suck, but boy, for me, Taxi Driver is just, there's something haunting about it. Maybe it's the Bernard Herrmann score, which it's just unfucking, but he remained a creative force to the end, man. I mean, that score was radical and not entirely Herman-esque, really. I mean, it had his signature, you know, chord progression, and you know, that beautiful jazz piece for Betsy is one of the highlights of his career, in my opinion. He was just a gorgeous score. Andy, what do you think about Goodfellas?
There's something about watching this movie, and then somebody goes off after watching this movie and marries.
Turn your mic up a little bit, Andy.
I've got it turned up all the way on my end.
Any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
There you go.
There's just something about watching this movie, and then you still go and marry an Italian. There's something wrong with me. There's definitely something wrong with me. This is a really interesting dynamic, because it is street level. It is like the guys on the front lines of things. It's not like and it's funny how you can have that dichotomy. You can be a really good guy, but still be a real dirtbag. And it's interesting because, like, loyalty to your friends, really good qualities in some ways, but then you kind of kill people and whack them with your guns, and then you hang out with girls that get excited about that. That's a little disturbing too. Everybody's pretty much covered everything with this. It's like I don't have anything else really to add, but it is a very enjoyable movie. I'm not a gangster movie guy. I don't necessarily see the. Maybe it's because I've actually interacted with people that are a little unsavory, and so I find it hard to glamorize and glorify them to any extent, but because I've seen that other side of them, and it is really, really well done. The characters, even though they're dirtbags, but you can't take your eyes off them. They're fascinating, and when you see that different kind of motivation that they have for the things that they do, it's it's a nice step outside of like the regular world that everybody else lives in. It reminds you that, like, there's a reason why you have a lock on your door, and a big dog and a safe full of guns and an escape room. But there's a quality to this that the performances, and even Joe Pesci, as crazy as he is in this, he's endearing. He's very, like, until that switch flips, he's a fun guy, and very amusing. But I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen this. I personally enjoy this more than The Godfather. The Godfather, as beautiful as it is, to me it's very long. I've watched them a couple times. I think I've watched The Godfather 3 twice, maybe, because I wanted to know that I really didn't like it. But this is really well done, and it's interesting to see that the things that we see in newspapers and headlines, and this is kind of like the backstory of it, and the fact that it is so authentic, that it is so true to life, and showing you not just the glamorous side of things, but like really seedy, kind of how you balance that kind of thing between things is a fascinating psychological study. So I enjoy the film. I went to see this in the theater when it came out. Old friend of mine was in town. We went to see this, and it was like, and I was, wow, it's a pretty heavy movie. And then I went and married an Italian.
Well, some people never fucking line, you understand? They never fucking line. Terrible. Well, Andy, good analysis there, and thank you for all of you for your input. And Gary, as usual, your notes were impeccable. Awesome job. Thank you, brother. And also thanks to Rob for doing those screen grabs, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much. All right, let's go ahead and get to the last of these here super chat thingies. Super chat, motherfucker. All right, folks. So this time I'll do it right. I didn't loop the video the last time. I screwed that up, but it's a new thing. It's a new thing. So we'll get it right here. All right, we got just a few more super chats here. Let's go ahead and get to these. Let's see. Darth Maul's lower half. Hail to you, Darth Maul's lower half. I love that. With a €5 super chat. Excuse me, Darth Maul's lower half. €5 super chat. Says, hail, my lord. Sounds like all the showrunners got their diplomas from the Jar Jar Abrams Quality Learning Center for Magic Box Screenwriting. Yeah, man, he will let you down almost every fucking time. Good old Jar Jar Abrams. I swear to God, Lost is an unforgivable sin. The worst thing ever, but I'm not going to rant about it again. But, you know, you just look at the shit he does. Look at The Force Awakens, The Farce Awakens. Look at Rusev Soywoker. Look at, Star Trek Into Darkness. One of the worst fucking things I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And that includes Kurtzman Trek, oddly enough. Hail to you, Darth Maul's lower half. I love that name. Love that name. And Kurt James with a $5 super chat. Hey, Kurt, thank you, brother. It's good to see you. Kurt James says, action was over. And there was, I believe, 40 minutes of show remaining during the Stranger Things finale. Then it was all people talking on a fucking roof. Yeah, dude. Painful shit. Painful, squandered, sloppy, fat, lax. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible job. They really had pacing problems. They had attitude problems. They miscalculated tragically. Stranger Things, I will not revisit. If I ever watch Stranger Things again, it's going to be just the first season, and that's it. Ever. Period. End of story. Jacob Holler with a $9.99 super chat of great generosity. Hail to you, Jacob. I'm sorry I didn't know you had a super chat, but then I would have had to interrupt everyone to read it. But Jacob Holler says, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper to you, Jacob Holler. Thank you very, very much for being here tonight, my friend. It was always great to see you every single time you pop up. Blaze Heart Panther with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Blaze Heart Panther says, we also lost Guy Moon a couple days ago, who was the composer for Nick cartoons like Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, who got hit by a vehicle while on his scooter. Man, geez, I did not know that. That's the first time I've heard of that. Geez. Well, rest in peace, Guy Moon. Yeah, dude, man, things can just, your whole life can change just in a heartbeat. You know, you never see it coming. It's terrible. Hail to you, Blaze Heart Panther, and thank you very much for that super chat, my friend. And rest in peace, Guy Moon. That's a sad story. Jesus. Goku McDuck with a 50 Mexican peso super chat. Hail to you, Goku McDuck. He says, I lolled at the good feathers. The good feathers? I lolled at the good feathers being a parody of them. Squid was the parody of Ray Liotta and Pesto of Pesci. Pesto was my favorite. I've never seen the Good Feathers. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Hey-
Goodfeathers was the Animaniacs parody of Goodfellas.
okay.
And the pigeon he's talking about in particular was played by one of my acting teachers, Chick Venera, who does a great impression of Joe Pesci and actually was up for some of his roles before he was big.
Oh, cool, man. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for letting me know that. I'd never seen it. It's probably on YouTube. I guess I could go and check it out. Thank you, Goku McDuck. I did not know that. You learn something new every single day on Pop Culture Breakdown, even when you are on the panel. SHS Rebels 08 with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, SHS Rebels 08. He says, Goodfellas is my favorite mob film ever. A 10 out of 10 film. Hail Doomcock and panelist. Hey, Gary, go get your fucking shine box. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. SHS Rebels 08. And there he's hailing us in the chat. Hail to you, SHS Rebels 08. Thank you, my friend. And Goku McDuck with 100 Mexican peso super chat. God bless you, Goku McDuck. He says, Christmas 94 was the last Christmas of my childhood. I got the Animaniacs game for Christmas, and I wanted to hit Pesto and Squid to see if something happened, but no, they are only in the background. I'm sorry, man. Hopefully that alone didn't end your childhood. You know, I know that, childhood disappointments can be a little traumatic, a little, scarring, but God bless you, Goku McDuck. I got this great book. I think it was called Mail Order Treasures or Mail Order Memories, and it's a book with photographs of all the things that you could order from the backs of comic books back in the day and what they really were. Like what the Polaris sub that seated 2 really was, what the dancing ghost really was, and the caveman mask and hypno coin and all that stuff with photos and everything. Super cool book. Track it down if you can, if you're curious about what those childhood memories in the backs of comic books that you never were able to afford or got. You probably dodged a whole bunch of bullets, although there were some things that were super cool. The Dead Man 79 with a $4.99 super chat. Hail to you, the Dead Man 79. He says, then how do you shake ketchup? Now, you didn't say my pronouns. Then the actor calls fans bigots if they don't like the movie or show. Yeah, that's pretty much a good summary of the difference. Actors wanting to know how to authentically shake ketchup if you're that character. And now it's just you didn't say my pronouns correctly. I was feeling very slighted. Hail to you, the Dead Man 79. Goku McDuck with a 50 Mexican peso super chat. Hail to you, Goku, again, my friend. Thank you, sir. He says, some say Hulk Hogan's No Holds Barred is better than The Godfather. Is it wrong? I find Ready to Rumble as a fun movie. It's like a guilty pleasure. I never saw Ready to Rumble or Hulk Hogan's No Holds Barred. I sincerely doubt it's better than The Godfather, but hey, what do I know? I haven't seen it. I can't say. Goku McDuck, hail to you, and I respect your opinion if you feel that is the case. Maybe I'm ignorant. I need to check it out. Jack White with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Jack. He says, DC, I just sent you some emails with links to purchase some of the anime and light novel series I've recommended. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that, sir. Producer Jack White tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jack. We really appreciate you, sir, and appreciate your advice. The Dead Man 79 with a $4.99 super chat. Again, hail to the Dead Man 79 says, Godfather is akin to the original series, and Goodfellas is akin to the next generation, if you know what I mean. Well, I guess I kind of agree, but I honestly, I have not seen Goodfellas as much as I've seen The Godfather. So I need to reevaluate that. I think Gary may have a point. I'm going to rewatch that again. I haven't seen it in a number of years now. I'm going to track that down and watch it. Hail to you, the Dead Man 79. I remember it's a great film. There's no doubt about it. I loved it. I've seen it many times, but not recently and not in that light. God bless you, brother. Goku McDuck with a 20 Mexican peso super chat. Hey, Goku. He says, nah, the Animaniacs game was great. Good. I'm glad it wasn't a disappointment, my friend. I'm sorry you couldn't shoot the pigeon, though. And Michael Beacom with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. He says, calling it a night, Overlord. Be seeing you. And also with you, Michael Beacom. Be seeing you, sir. Love The Prisoner. Best damn show ever made. Goku McDuck with a 20 Mexican peso super chat again. Goku, God bless you, brother. He says, no holds barred had the late, great Tiny Lister. Tiny Lister, no holds barred, ladies and gentlemen. Purportedly better than The Godfather. Oh, there you go. I'm not saying that. Goku McDuck is saying that. All right, let's go ahead and say goodnight to everyone, and hail to Fet for Hire. Hail to you, brother. Thank you for the gift of this this incredible this little graphic, man. I really, really love it. It kind of puts the fun in super chats. Gary Ambrosia, ladies and gentlemen, secure in his cell, protected from the hordes of ravenous women who want to abuse him sexually. Gary, it's good to see you, buddy. Anything you would like to say to the folks here?
Well, they do want to abuse me, but I don't know if it's sexually. Hail to the chat. Hail to the wrenches. We love you guys so much. Thanks for being here with us. And we will be back next week with more shitty news and another great movie to talk about. So see you later. Love you very much.
Maybe there'll be some good news, man.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
We haven't been talking about Fallout Season 2 every week.
Let's do it.
I think
it. Yeah.
Let's watch it.
We're halfway through now, and I don't know. What do you think? Do like a review of the halfway mark, and then a review of the final.
Sure. Why not?
On Prime, right?
Yeah.
Prime.
It's
Cool.
excellent. It's
Okay.
really excellent. Gary, have you seen the first season?
I've been catching up with them. So I've been watching them.
Surprisingly good.
They're interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
You gotta watch season 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. I haven't caught up to season 2 yet. I'm on season 1.
But I think season 2 really hasn't lost a step.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I love that it's in color. The show is in color, full color, beautiful color. No, it's not just a big shade of blue.
Yeah.
It's not just
Dark.
a big shade of brown.
It's got some great visuals. It's really interesting looking movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
And they make a post-apocalypse fun. They make it funny in a lot of ways. It's got some very good dark humor, and Walton Goggins is fantastic as the ghoul.
Mhm.
Right.
Absolutely fantastic. Rob, anything you'd like to go ahead and plug?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got my channel, Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture, and lately I've done a couple of these reaction videos to some of these AI Star Wars creations that some folks have made. I've got one that dropped today, so check that out. It's where Luke Skywalker finds the Kyber crystal for his green lightsaber. It's pretty cool. So if you want to check that out, go to my channel. This weekend at 5:30 Central on Sunday, Heather L., Agent Pepsi 1, Stark of Iron, and I will be together, and we are doing the hits of 1977, an interesting year in music, and we are doing the album we love, which is Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. So come join us, talk about the hits from 77 and this wonderful, awesome album. I think you guys will enjoy the show, and we got a good one. We've got a good rhythm. We tell you about the music. We go through the top 40. We tell you what wasn't in the top 40 that should have been the top 40, and we tell you about the music news from that year, as well as go over the album. So it's a fun show. So come check us out. 5:30 Central on Sunday.
Rumors, one of my favorite albums. Absolutely.
Oh, it's great. It's
hit
fantastic.
after hit after hit.
Mhm.
Can't believe Gold Dust Woman wasn't a massive hit.
Oh yeah, that's a great song. That's a great song.
Hell of a great song. And by the way, Gary Ambrosia failed to plug his own channel. Oddly enough, Gary Ambrosia has a YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe to it, folks. He does all sorts of amazing videos on it about his prop making skills, his remastering skills, reclaiming old props and kind of cleaning them up and stuff. It's definitely worth watching. And the wrenches will put a link to it in the chat as well. Well, shit, Gary, you gotta blow your own trumpet sometimes, man. I know.
Well, somebody's got to blow it.
Well, I'm gonna blow it here. And Heather L is not a YouTuber. Heather, go ahead and say goodnight to the good folks here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, as always, for having me on. Just always a blast hanging out with you guys. Good night to everyone in the chat, and I hope to see you guys on Friday.
For our Friday night frolics. Hail to you, Heather. And Sean, go ahead and plug your channel, sir.
Oh yeah, you can come and watch me build models at the Sci-Fi Model Guy, and looking forward to Friday and for Friday Night Frolics and seeing everyone out there. And I get to watch Starfleet Academy in less than a day. However, I will say this: I know we haven't talked about it, but if anyone's looking for a good show to watch or a movie, check out Hunting Season with Mel Gibson. I watched it last night, and it was absolutely incredible.
Fantastic.
Really, really good movie.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Fantastic,
Really good.
man.
Really good.
Damn it. We don't get like good information anymore about when movies are releasing. They just sneak out. They sneak them into
Yeah.
theaters. I guess they don't like Mel Gibson in Hollywood, and that's why.
It had a very
a lot of-
limited release. Very limited.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
These
you can
lucky
you
people.
can rent it, I think, on Amazon, but it's worth the purchase. You guys check it out.
100%. 100%. Andy Masterson, go ahead and plug away, my friend.
One of the themes we have here is a retro thing where we go back and watch these old movies we love. And retro is coming back, like you can see with vinyl. And just because there's real dolls, if you like those inflatable kind, you stick with it. Stick with what you love. Have a great time, everyone. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, Andy Masterson. And we got just a few more super chats here. And thank you guys for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. Hold on just a second. Gosh. Okay, here we go. Jack White is a producer tonight with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Jack White. He says, this is good news. Jack White with a $5 super chat says, looks like we might be getting a remake of Fallout New Vegas in the vein of Oblivion. Dude, that would be absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. I have been wanting to play a Fallout game for a long time. I understand that, the TV show has mangled the lore of Fallout, but, they've done it with such style and also because I'm not familiar with the game. It hasn't bothered me, but I understand the point of view of a lot of you folks that really love the games. But I really want to play it. But I only play, console stuff. I sit in front of the computer too much. I can't stand to play games on computers anymore. So that would be fantastic. I would love that. Thank you, Jack. Jacob Holler with a $19.99 super chat. Hey, Jacob, God bless you, brother. He says, we all have our struggles, great and small. Bless you, DC. I always say I'll support you. I will always support you. Thank you, Jacob Holler. God bless you, Jacob. Thank you, man. It was really great to see you. Really great to see you tonight. And the Dead Man 79 with a $1.99 super chat. Hail, Dead Man. He says, what are we going? What are we going tonight, Doomcock? We're going to do what we always do. We're going to conquer the world. Hail to you, the Dead Man 79. What are you doing, man? I'm probably going to go and eat some cookies and drink some booze. Cookies and booze.
Good combo.
I don't dunk them though. No, that would be perverse. Dunking, my cookie in my bourbon or scotch. No, my friends. I'm not that low yet. Not yet. Goku McDuck with a 50 Mexican peso super chat. Hail Goku. He says, well, some people at IMDb said No Holds Barred is better than The Godfather, not me. Oh, okay. Well, you represented it though, dude. But Tiny Lister as Zeus was great. Wow. All right. Fair enough. So Goku McDuck is disowning the concept that No Holds Barred is better than The Godfather. Fair enough. The retraction is hereby made. Hail to you, Goku McDuck. And Jack White, who is not only a producer, he might even be edging up to executive producer tonight, with a $10 super chat, a $5 super chat, and another $5 super chat. And listen to these folks, because Jack knows his games, manga, and anime damn well. And you could, if you're interested in these things, write down what he says. He won't guide you wrong. Jack White says some upcoming games to look forward to: Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, cool. Persona 4 remake, Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection Part 2, Devil May Cry 1 Remake, Fatal Frame 2. Yeah, no, that's going to be good. Crimson Butterfly Remake. And the reason why I get excited about these remakes is because they're not remakes like in films. You know, what they are is basically like, you know, using the advanced technology to improve, you know, the look of the thing, the feel of the thing, and also putting them on consoles for me, whereas before they might have been, you know, PC games, is a huge, huge plus. So that's really good news, Jack. Jack also includes, with a $5 super chat, Halo Campaign Evolved, Neo Berlin 2087. I've never heard of that. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. I like collections. Mega Man Dual Override. I like collections because I'm cheap. Mega Man Dual Override. And then Jack White also with a $5 super chat says Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4 are on consoles. Well, yes, Jack, but they're on the PlayStation 3 and they're buggy as shit, right? So, I mean, they crash all the fucking time. It's really hard for me to enjoy a game when I'm wincing every time, you know, I open a door or, you know, jump off a cliff and wondering the whole thing's going to give me a blue screen of fuck you, Doomcock. So, nah, I want a more stable release. That's all I'm asking. Is that so much to ask? All right, folks. And Alain Plant is asking, can you ask Rob Wright, what's the name of Rob Wright's YouTube page? His show interests me. It's Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture, isn't it?
Yep, Rob Wright, Gen X Pop Culture. At Rob Wright, 20. I can't remember my numbers on the stupid thing.
Fair enough. And producer Jack White, maybe executive producer Jack White, adds with a $2 super chat, Fallout 4 is on the PS4. But see, I heard there were other problems with Fallout 4, that it was not a great game, that it had some problems. Is that incorrect, folks? Any of you guys on the panel gamers? None of y'all? I guess not.
Not enough to play Fallout now.
All right, fair enough.
Not on consoles, PC.
A little bit.
All right. Well, yeah, Devilman Chaos says Fallout 4 is a terrible game. See, that's what I heard. So, you know, I want to play Fallout 3 New Vegas. You know, that's what I want to play. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to thank each and every member of my panel. Osaka Chandal, God bless you. Please, folks, subscribe to our channel. Same thing with Douglas Nelson. It was all right. Douglas, it was all right, Nelson. And thanks to all of my wrenches out there. Thanks to every one of you in the chat. God bless you all. And we hope to see you next Wednesday when we'll have another movie for you and more commentary and Friday Night Frolics, which is, well, Friday night. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and Harvey Cthulhu and my panel of pop culture pundits bidding you all, my friends, oh yes, stay angry, but also stay hopeful. Things are getting better all the time. Really? Well, no. But
push the button.
We
Push
hope
the button.
so. Yeah, push the button. There you go, dude.